All right, everybody, welcome back to the Queen's Room podcast. This is a episode, live episode number 4, season 2. And the topic today is I think it's funny how. So, what we're going to do, we have a panel of ladies and gentlemen. Okay, myself, Chris with Christ Publications, Nasty Nate, J Lasso, and the XD. We're waiting on one more person, but I figured we should just go ahead and get the introductions out the way. You know who I am. Samia the Poet. This is Queen's Room. And today we got questions men want to ask women and questions women want to ask men.
Hello?
Yeah. We can hear you. We just can't see you, sir. Nate. So, Chris,
y'all can hear. Okay.
We can hear you. So, Chris picked for the women to be asked the question first, right? So we got the questions separated by these. And I'm going to pull from this man question, and I can answer it or either Jess can answer it. It doesn't matter. But I'm gonna let Jessica answer this one. The question is, if you're seeking marriage, what makes you qualified to be a wife? Let me finish the question. That was wow. Okay. The question again is, if you're seeking marriage, what makes you qualified to be a wife? There go Queen.
Hi. Sorry.
Hey Queen, we have started. Chris was the first one in here, so we got Chris. We got Nate. Well, Nate just left. He'll probably be back. We got XD. You know Jessica. You know who I am. The first question was, if you're seeking marriage, what makes you qualified to be a wife? Go ahead, Jessica. I said Jessica can answer this one. Go ahead. Because I know Queen already got something to say. Okay, welcome back, Nate. Nate, Queen, Nate.
But that's what I was going to say, though. Queen could start first.
Okay, Queen, you got an answer for that?
Hello.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am more worthy than rubies. You would ask the Lord. But no, I do think a lot of times women want to say they cook, they clean, they take care of the house, they could take care of kids. But I think more as being a wife, it's like, are you ready to be his partner? Are you ready to be his pillar? Are you ready to have his back? Are you ready to go through thick and thin? A lot of times they're like, oh, I'm not a cheater. I'm not this. I'm not that. But do you still have baggage from all your past relationships? Are you still holding on to things that are going to kind of take you away from being like that great person? Do you still have bitterness and resent? Are you going to hold that against the person that, is trying to marry you? It's not just about cooking.
Came in late with work.
Right. I could clean. I got a house. I got my car. Okay. What your credit score look like, though?
Period.
What your finances look like? Are you gonna take care of his finances, or are you gonna just misuse them?
Jessica, did you have anything to add to that?
I have something to add to it. Per se, I'm gonna just let it flow. I'm gonna let God use it, right?
Okay, so, I don't have nothing to say on that question.
Back off of Queen. Shout out to Queen. It's all about readiness too. I feel like for any woman that's preparing themselves to be positioned to be a wife for anyone, you really have to be comfortable with yourself and prepared to add on to somebody, because you can't be half and expect the other half to add on to you. It's two whole people coming together as one, because there's no room. There's no room for the other sex to go back ready when you are mentally, physically, emotionally ready to be a wife. God will prepare that for you. Even in Proverbs 31:10, it outlines all of that. It literally provides you instructions I mean, the whole Bible is instruction, yes, but
Mhm.
really position yourself to be a wife. You handle wife duties, not woman duties, but wifely duties. And
Mhm.
the same thing with the man.
Activities.
Can you handle husband duties for the wife? Both of you guys are gonna, yeah. It is literally gonna be how would I put it? Are you prepared to reciprocate what you are expecting? And I think if you're going to be a wife, you can't just tap dance today and just say, okay, well, you're going to be a wife today, but you still want to do girlfriend things tomorrow. So being
Mhm.
sure with yourself really comes with that.
Okay.
The whole package deal, because being
Church.
a wife, you're adding on to your man, your husband. You guys are a partnership. Y'all going to be adding on to each other. And you guys should be adding on to each other, especially you guys are, your foundation should be solid with yourself, but your foundation should be extra solid when you see that both of you guys are gonna leave behind.
Right.
So
Right.
being able to cook, being able to clean, being able to pay the bill, that's something that starts within your own home.
You need to know
Your
how to do that
husband's
as an
not gonna
adult.
be able to teach you. That's something that you're prepared for at your house within these
Mhm.
four walls. But being a wife to someone, that you're literally adding on to what you already have. Every step that you take, every level comes with new responsibilities. So being a wife will have its own responsibilities.
Mhm.
Learning how to
Jessica, I'm about to cut you off in a
sacrifice
minute.
for
You wrap
another.
it up,
Not
man.
to
We
say
got other
like, oh
questions.
well, if I give you a piece of me, I'm losing myself completely.
She
No,
ain't heard me.
I'm just saying. I'm
I
sorry.
know,
I'm
I know,
sorry.
but I know
I'll just
I gotta
Yahweh.
stop you.
Okay.
Hey,
I gotta stop you.
I'm sorry.
Gotta.
I'm sorry.
I know, cause I know. I already know. I already know. I just seen the look in your eye. Ed, did you have your hands up? Did
Church
you
man.
have something you want to add or say before I go to the next question? Ed, you keep freezing. We're gonna come back around to that, I'm
Going
sure.
in and out.
Hmm. You're going in and out, Ed. On us, you kind of choppy on our side. But that was the first question for the women. I pulled the question for the men. These questions come from a lot of different people, not just the people in this thing, just a lot of different people. This question is, why do men lie to kick it? What's wrong with being you?
Who was that?
So
Huh?
is that for us?
Yes, that was for you. That was a man question. Why do men lie to kick it? What's wrong with being you?
All right, so I'm going to take like my personal experience out of it and just kind of answer in general.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of a generalization, but a lot of women have like a very specific idea of what they want to even be around. So when you trying to get to know somebody, trying to figure out like how you can get to know her and spend time with her, who you are can be a very fluid concept. Now, this
Mm-hmm.
isn't like speaking for me, this is just kind of men in general here, but I mean, you got to figure out what she's after so you know like what role you can fill.
Mm-hmm. Nate or Ed, y'all want to add on to that? Or you got anything to say about that question?
I need to hear it one more time. Say it one more time.
The question is, why do men lie to kick it? What's wrong with being you?
Because sometimes with some women, when you're too honest, you come off as too boring or too forceful. So you throw a little story in, add a little spice to it to keep their interest.
Queen.
It's true.
I'm gonna mute myself.
I like that one.
I'm trying to figure out.
Wait, Jess, wait. Nate, you got anything to say about that? Just you got anything to say about that question?
Do This oh, you talking about? Oh yeah, you. No, that
Mhm.
is. I'm one of those two honest people, but I will say that in any occasion I did probably whatever it was when I didn't care. Like I didn't even think they was gonna stick around too. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like I don't want you knowing my personal business for real when we might just be finna fucking you finna. You feel what I'm saying? Or you ain't finna say. It's like yeah, the lying can be that. Like if it didn't matter about what you even thought about, yeah, I don't care about lying to you. So it's kind of mean, but some girl, like some people will be like, dang, why did you do that? And it's like, really, it was a reason because I wasn't fucking
I
with
need
you
a
like
shot.
that. It's mean, but that's why you got to lie. Like
You got
that's the only thing I can even like. I can lie. I didn't lie to people I didn't plan on dating for real. But if I plan on dating you, I wouldn't even. It ain't no reason to be lying for real.
okay. Jess, you had your hand up. I know you had something to say.
I
The
was gonna
faces.
say in a nutshell, just teach people how to love you. It don't gotta be in an intimate level. Just from the jump, just teach them how to respect you. Because if you're gonna wear a veil over your face about who you are and what your character is and what you stand for, it's gonna be very hard to sustain any type of relationship. Because that thing gonna change
I
in the name of Jesus.
I wanna I wanna I want to throw this on there too. It's that question. A lot of questions I noticed. Like we will be asking, but I have noticed all this shit. Like we all as human beings and be making the same like mistakes as both sex. And a lot of times I try to make one thing a woman thing, a man thing. But shit, women do that. All these questions is questions asked both ways. So I want to point that out. It definitely it's both ways.
Yeah. I'm gonna chime
Because
in on that
women
part what you
lie to
just
kick it
said.
like a motherfucker. Too. Like
I
it
don't
ain't
have to
no
lie to
none
kick
of
it.
this shit just go one way.
Yeah. I don't have to lie to kick it. I'm pretty much just myself all the time.
Don't none of us have to.
Well, I don't have to and I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm just myself all the time. Either you like me or you don't. But why wouldn't you like me? I'm delightful. That's my whole theory on that, I think. But I'm just myself all the time. The same personality that be on these videos, I am the same person in real life. So it's just I don't be understanding it because I'm the same all the time. All right. This is another question for the ladies from the men. Like I said, these questions come from everywhere, from people in this right now and people outside. And the men, some men want to know, would you ever check your girlfriend if you knew she was cheating on her boyfriend or her husband? Go ahead, Queen. Because you made the face first and I noticed it. Go ahead.
I mean, so I have this thing where I'm gonna do the godly thing and be like, you know, it's wrong, but I gotta know why. And more than likely, like we know why. So she cheating and he's a good person. I'm gonna be like, you know, you ain't gonna find nobody else like this, right? But if she's cheating because he ain't shit, then
Carry on.
carry on, baby. But to me, if you're not married, you can't cheat. You're single until you're married. So no, you just sitting with a whole nother person.
It's just a different sin.
Just saying.
To go, Queen said, if it's like if I know them, like you said, if that person dogging them out, I don't have no sympathy for you because you're not my homegirl. She's my homegirl. But if you're married, I'm gonna have to pull you to the side like they do at church. We have to pull you to the side. Man, what you doing? What you doing out here?
Like
Let me
Huh?
get you right.
You found a good man. He married you. What you doing? What's really going on? But why you doing that? But if it's just your boyfriend, ma'am, that ain't none of my business.
Okay, so interjection.
Go
My
ahead.
question is then, how would it make it right if they're trying to get to that step of making her their wife? and she out there cheating.
Then
Like-
he ain't the one. How you gonna cheat before you say I do?
Well, yeah, but that's the thing though. Is like,
If you're
would
already
you even step in at that
before
point?
the I do, why you gonna say I do?
Yeah, but like, if you knew that was happening, though, would you step in before he got to that point,
Yes,
knowing that he's
Yeah, I
intended
mean,
to marry this person?
absolutely.
If he feels the need to keep cheating or keep doing her, y'all don't need to be together. Like
Get married ain't gonna fix it.
Else. If you find yourself consistently cheating on someone, whether they're just
She
a
with the snap.
boyfriend or whatever, they're not the one. You just wasting time. You bored.
She said you bored.
I mean, we all been bored.
Jess. Yep.
Hey,
In situations that,
Hold on. What was that, sir?
I got a question.
You got a what? We can barely hear you, Nick. You sound real low. You're not that loud.
I said I got a question to ask. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Not that loud.
We can hear you better now.
What about now?
We good.
Do you ladies feel as though it's worth it today? Is it worth it today? The work that you have to put in with dating, is it worth it?
You asking somebody.
The effort.
2.5 seconds.
The effort.
Anybody can answer this. I don't want to answer this. Go ahead,
Is the
y'all.
work putting in the work to date? I mean, I'm a bad example, man. I'm broken up with this man about 5 times in 2 months.
Yeah.
Queen.
Just broke up with him last night.
I'm sick of you.
He got on my nerves. I'm just
Dating. Dating for me is just like, why? Exactly. I don't want to. It's wasted time. To me, it seems like it's just going to be a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my times when I want to be bothered and don't want to be bothered. You got to catch me in the want to be bothered stage. But you can take just one thing to have you make me bothered. So
who knows what that is?
Exactly.
I mean, why date if you don't plan on going anywhere?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if you're gonna date somebody, you date somebody to find out who they are, see if y'all can link up and match and go further. But if you're gonna date and something bad comes along and then you just quit them, kind of wasted your own time.
That's
because nobody's perfect.
Right.
It's always gonna be something that's gonna stop it.
Well, I'm single for a reason.
Right.
Facts. Go ahead, Jess. That finger go keep going up all night. Go ahead.
All I'm saying when it comes to the realm of dating, make sure it's intentional. Just to piggyback off of I forgot his name, the one with the red shirt. I do apologize in advance.
It's on
Nate,
the screen.
There you
Jess.
go. Just like what Nate
Jesus.
says. No, not no. The one with the
I
red
know,
shirt.
but it's on the screen.
All I
ma'am.
see is the X.
Call him the XD.
No,
That's
it's not
why
showing my screen.
Okay, that's XD.
Insubordinate. Listen.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Listen.
I'm listening.
As long as you're dating with intention, you should be fine. But if there's no intent behind your dating, you should not be interacting with nobody at all. Because you're messing with someone's husband to be, or you're messing with someone's wife to be. And that's not your lesson.
You're ready to be married.
So date with intent.
What was that last question?
For Reverend J. Lasofa tonight.
Okay, that was a man question for a lady. Let's go to another lady question for the men.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this question exactly how it was submitted to me. Okay, so I didn't write this. This came from, a woman. She said, "Why don't men take better care of their skin?" Oh, alligator head ass. That's what she said. That's what she said. I typed it. That's what it
Because
said.
look, my granny, my aunties, my mom, all my people, all they use is drink water and wear lotion. That's it.
Okay.
You just
So
gonna be
I'm not
scratching
about to be
everybody.
in,
Okay. Just
yeah, I'm
rough
not about
hair.
to be in Bed Bath and Beyond for like 9 hours, like picking out lotions and exfoliants and crap.
You
I'm
can
gonna
go
drink
to
water.
Walmart.
I'm wear lotion when I'm ashy. Do what I got to do.
XD.
Most of the time, and we take a shower, deodorant, put on the body spray, and we just go because we got to go to work. For me personally, I'm always moving. So sometimes I don't have time to sit there and lotion up like I'm supposed to, but I'm on the move all the time. So long as I ain't funky, I keep it moving.
You could be
We men,
smell
like
fresh,
if you
be
smell
happy.
good and you ain't ashy, you good. Like
Nick, you wear lotion. Just cause sometimes y'all hands like sandpaper and it's not sexy.
Mine,
Because
that's
they
because we
working
I
working.
hands.
can't talk just from being ashy. You don't think about it, man.
You can't handle a man with working hands.
But look,
I know
all the
plenty of
tips,
men with working hands who wear lotion. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm not asking you to push your cuticles back or
I'm
nothing
gonna
to
tell
dig out
you
your
how easy it
hangnail.
is to get. Okay, it take any
What?
water. You go to. I know, but that's just
You breaking up, Nate.
one bathroom visit.
Breaking up, Nate.
You crusty.
We don't know nothing you said because you broke up the whole time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello,
I need to shake these up.
hello, hello.
Yes, we hear
Yeah,
you.
I don't know what to do. Back in or anything to be
Yes,
ashy.
There we go.
yes.
Show him
Oh Lord,
you ash.
this. I just pulled another question from this men bucket.
We get
Jessica,
no touching water. It's over. With a black being a black man.
right? You need. That's why y'all need to carry pocket lotion or something. Like it don't got to be like the smell good lotion stuff that we have. Vaseline. Y'all got Granny's Vaseline. Cocoa butter. Something.
I don't know.
Something.
Our skin routine is never going to be what y'all's is. Like we're men. Like lotion and
I don't
keep it
want no
moving.
man to have no skin routine though. I'm just gonna say that. I just
Pretty
want you
much, you know.
to routinely put on lotion.
Right. I don't think it's routine. I think it's just sometimes I can just tell they're not. It's like you use basic lotion and basic soap, but there's a lot of other stuff going on that needs to be taken care of. And if you can dress up, you can buy expensive shoes, belts, do all this other stuff, but your face looks like a mess. And there's just bumps and ugh, we don't want that. We want cuteness.
I'm
We
not
don't
You
want
want
a
routine,
patchy
basically,
beard
is what you're saying.
issue. Like, what's with the patchy beard? Like,
Whoever y'all talking to.
either we grow the beard or we let it go or we something, but
I'm not done. I'm done with today. We're moving on. Okay.
All I'm
It was too
saying
long
is
of a talk.
I'm
Just
not-
about lotion.
listen. All I'm saying,
Put some lotion
all
on before
I'm
you
saying
touch
is
me.
that I'm not
Period.
trying to play connect the dots with someone's face. For real. Don't. Please. Save me the
Moving on.
trouble.
I said I'm moving on past the lotion. We
Like,
gotta go. We gotta go. All right, ladies. This is from the men. What is it about the men who are no good that makes you even consider them? I got this one because you know how a lot of women like to watch HGTV, and a lot of women like to foster puppies and animals and sick animals and stuff. Women think they can fix anything
We
sometimes,
sure do.
including people. We want to take it in, we want to mold it, we want to put it back together, and we want to look at it later and say, I did that. That was me. Don't do that though. I'm not building to bear another nigga. I'm retired from that. So we just we think we're such awesome nurturers that we're gonna get this man. We can make him not be bad for us.
So then my question
I don't
is
know
like,
about that.
why do you skip over a guy who's like better or even just kind of further along in that process to go for like the dude who dyes red Fruit Loops for $4 an hour?
You know what?
Okay, so I think, in all honesty, as like, so as for me, I'll choose a bad boy just to see how I can break him. Like, I just want to see.
She said,
Most of the time I get bored, so I'm gonna choose a bad boy and I'm gonna break you and then I'm gonna leave you. Somebody else can fix you.
You know what, Queen?
You asked, okay? You asked for honest opinion, okay? I don't care about fixing you.
I ain't never heard that answer before.
Because I don't care about fixing you. So you're gonna be broken. We're gonna see how far you can go. A lot of times with bad boys, they say they don't fall in love, they don't do this, they don't do that. I'm gonna make you do all the things that you say you're not gonna do. And then I'm gonna leave you and just be like, okay, bye. You're broken. I want you. And I'm not saying that this is right. I'm a woman of God. The Lord has changed me. So he's working on me. But in the past, I would choose the bad boy because you're more fun. You're more fun to try to break and tame and see where I'm gonna get with you and how far. And then I'm just like, oh, okay.
Like a bronco, like a bucket bronco. Okay. Feral. Okay. Jessica.
Right.
This nod of disapproval Jessica got going on. Go ahead.
I just done tapped out. I don't even think I want to speak.
All
I'm saying is both sides of the fence. Both sides of the fence can have potential. It's just how you present yourself to the girl. Like, your nice facade of you having a good 9-to-5 job and you going to church. It's a lot of for real. It's a lot of masks being worn, and it's so much easier for a girl to gravitate to a woman, to a man that's outside of the church or that's a bad boy first because he's brutally honest, right? Versus the guy who's in the church who's having something going for himself. It makes a woman question. No, for some girls, it makes them question. From what I see from the outside looking in, that's how it looks like. But not all.
But some of these church boys ain't ish either.
They be the worst one.
Because it'd be a lot of
church for that.
I mean, I think that's her point, though. It's like,
but that's what I'm. Both sides have potential. You just have to be able to feel it out for yourself. Both will wear the mask and make it seem like everything is good and dandy, or portray the bad guy when he's really not, because he's just broken. It's just how the woman views the guy. But at the end of the day, too, a woman cannot build up a man. He has to be able to build himself up. It starts turning.
Jala.
Nate, you were saying something? I got. No, Ed wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm waiting for it to calm down.
Are you
I'm saying what I got to say.
right now?
I mean, that's before I move on.
Is Jala so dating right now?
Sir.
No, not at the moment.
I can't hear him.
Huh?
He asked, was J Lasso dating right now? And she said, no, not at the moment.
And that's
Ed, what were you going to say?
I'm going to use the example that Queen brought up. She brought up how she would date him, she'd break him, but then she turned around And she mentioned that God's still working on it.
Yes.
See, with that, for most men,
I like that you answering the question.
that's the confusing part.
You
Are you gonna get with me and break me, or are you gonna be a woman of God and deal with
because the way she answering. Because she
I'm trying to be
answering
good,
like she
but-
already know.
That's the key thing. You said I'm trying to be good, and that's the but that messes up potential relationships because nobody doesn't really know where they at.
I would say the last 2 people that I've dated, including the one that's in the picture, not in the picture. I've done my best, but I always say that because of the things that I've done in the past, there is a consequence for your actions. So in the same sense that I've broken plenty of men, I still have guards up. So even if they are good, I'm like, I don't really know if you're really good or if you just playing the good, or what are you doing? I think it's just easier for women to deal with men that are broken because most women, in a sense, are broken. So 2 broken people sitting up here just trying to figure out who's the more broken person and who's better. And that's essentially what happens. Women are broken. They go for broken because they don't know their full worth. Then they tend to deal with someone who gives them somewhat what they deserve because they don't really understand it. And it's easier when you got a bad boy because they got their ways to make things up. Now, when you deal with a good man, he gonna be like, "Listen, I'm gonna spoil you, but I ain't finna do all this for you." What you mean? What you mean?
So y'all operate with unrealistic expectations.
I'm not going to let you be irrational. Not being irrational. What do you mean? It's like a reality check. What did you just check me?
Yeah, I get that. I've been there. But I ain't never broke nobody though. I never broke nobody. So that was like the first time I ever heard a woman say that. So it was just what? Okay.
I mean, I have nigga ways though. Like I've always, like people have always said that. Like I've always been that way, and like I've always had like a guy's mentality.
You just admitted that you always have your guards up.
It is. It's all, and I've just always had. I've always been in a situation where I've had to have my guard up, and I've just been like, I'm not doing this. And if a nigga does it a certain way, okay, well I'm gonna just do it better. Not the greatest thing ever, because now as I'm getting older and I'm trying to be a woman of God, I'm trying to be in a relationship. I'm like,
you gotta fight them old ways,
girl, every day. I'll be like, don't you know how to replace you?
So, in becoming,
that's what
it's so
like
operating with your guards up and trying to become this woman of God that you want to be for yourself. Would you say that you are the one that's dangerous to get in a relationship with because you aren't where you want to be?
I try to tell him this all the time. Like, I don't know if you really want this. There's a lie. I am very honest. When a guy tries to date me, I tell him the truth. Like the Lord told me a few months ago, stop playing with my sons. He was legit, just said, stop playing with my son. He said, you keep running through my sons like it's nothing. And I was like, Lord, you give these kind of messages? Okay. But I do tell them, like, I am needy. I'm emotionally needy. I'm a baby. You gonna have to spoil me. I don't require nothing financial. I don't require nothing materialistic, but you gotta pay attention to me. All eyes gotta be on me, attention, all this. And real men gonna be like, I gotta work, right? Okay. And talk to me while you work. It's like a trying experience because, like I said, it's been my past is me doing what I want to do. So now, in order for you to get close to me, I gotta know that you're not gonna do what I did to others. Not necessarily fair to you, but
okay, I need to ask Queen's Realm a question.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask the question?
Go ahead.
You just said it takes a real man. My question is, what is the definition to y'all women of a real man? because it's confusing. Because I've noticed a lot of women have real men approach them, but they ignore when a real man approaches them and go for the BS. And then they get upset when they get BS because that's what you accepted. So what is a real man?
Can I answer real quick?
Go ahead, Jessica. I got something. I'm gonna let you go first.
Thank you, Kylie. From what I've experienced so far,
And then they complain to the
my
good dude.
definition of a real man is a person that handles
Thank you, Nate.
responsibility.
Yep. Hold on, I missed her definition, y'all. What you say now, Jess? Your
No, I
definition
was
of a real
saying,
man.
for me, a real man for me is defined as a person that. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, he was breaking up.
No, I was saying a definition of a real man. Okay. I was
It break
saying
up
the
soon as you get ready
definition
to
of a
say what
real
the
man for
definition
me is a
is.
person that handles his responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So a real man for me,
Y'all got
because I
that?
have I got you. I'm gonna give my definition. A real man for me, because I grew up with my father my whole life. I'm a daddy's girl. So a real man in my eyes is like my
She
father.
reads the book.
My dad does whatever for me. And I don't mean like I'm spoiled or nothing like that, but he teaches me. He's always encouraged me. He's always been there. He's always worked. He's always worked hard. He's never shied away from none of his responsibility. He does what he has to do. You know, in my head, that's a real man. You know, ain't a day that goes by that I gotta think like that. My daddy, none of that. So to put that into my definition of real man, you work hard, you have goals, you have ambitions, you're actually doing something towards what you say your goals and ambitions are. You have a plan, you're mentally stable, spiritually stable,
That part.
emotionally stable. Okay. Yeah.
So that I understand a little bit better, but as far as just like a man that just handles his responsibilities, dude dying the Fruit Loops for $4 an hour, he's out there handling his responsibilities technically. Like he may be on the bus, but he ain't paying no car note. So,
But is he working towards getting a car? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
do you have any
that's
ambition?
where
Do
the
you have any?
difference lies.
exactly.
Do you have any plans?
Yeah.
Like, what are you? You want this to be your everyday?
Mhm.
Because
Said you got goals. What's next?
right, where are you going? Are you trying to be the one who move up to $6 an hour? You painting the red and the purple Cheerios? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? What you doing with yourself? Are you doing anything with yourself?
But
At all?
realistically, most of the time, women won't even give that brother the opportunity
Hold
to
on
present
a second,
himself
Jeff.
if he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true. I think it depends. Like, as far as for me, a real man is someone who is more concerned about the well-being overall than anything. I don't really necessarily look for finances. I just need to know that your job is that your goal is to provide, like the Bible says, that you're going to protect, like the Bible says. I don't look at a dollar amount. I do know you have to have some goals. Like, what do you want to do 5 years from now? You can't still want to be in the same place.
Right.
More so, my biggest thing is how do you react? Because I know I'm a handful. So, do you have the patience that it's going to take to do the long road? Because for me, baby, we need all the patience. Okay, I'm gonna try you every which way, shape, or form. That's just who I am. So for me, a man has to be patient. Like, you can't be ready to give up every 2.5 seconds like me, because then you're not gonna be ready for marriage. How you gonna do the long haul? You don't want to work things out. And a lot of times that's what's wrong with our generation. We don't want to work things out. We don't. I know. I've been trying to give up. But that's the thing. But this is what I say. So this is what my friends said. Whoever I'm with is usually willing to deal with.
Wait. Let her finish.
Because I know it
let all
sounds
of y'all
crazy.
talk.
I want to know. I want to make sure that when I say I don't want to do this no more, that you gonna come pursue me, okay? That you gonna know that I'm good and that I'm worth pursuing. So when I tell
So
you
you
I'm
want one of
done,
them Ted Bundy type niggas. Because
no,
if
I want
you
someone
walking
who
away,
knows. Okay, so
hold on.
women react off emotions, men are rational. So if me as a woman, if I'm being emotional, I want to know that you're gonna come in and have sense and be like, listen, you're being emotional. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow, and then we're gonna figure things out. I'm not saying come at my door, come try to kill me, stay with me, whatever. Sometimes I do get emotional. I'm a woman. I'm a reactive off emotions. So as a man, I need you to be rational because we can't both be out here with emotions. We can't both be irrational. Like, I need somebody to come back with
I gotta call you up in the room. I
Wait,
gotta ask
wait,
a question.
hold on. I'm gonna do this in order. I'm gonna do this in order. I'm gonna do
You
this
know
in
what I
order.
Let's
feel
go.
like though?
We're gonna go Jayla, so Chris, and then the XD. Okay, Jayla, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got something to say too.
All right.
We gonna
Um,
Queen is gonna turn
I
into an
hear-
intervention.
so
I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
all right. So listen, I hear what Queen is saying, but what she's saying from what I'm hearing is the things that
Mhm.
she's looking in for a man. But
Mm.
as far as the makings of a man, I still stand by what I say. Just to piggyback off of you, Samia, is the responsibility aspect. There's incentive, there's ambition. You have a goal that you're trying to work towards. You're building yourself up to be the gentleman that you want to be, to set yourself up for who you want to add into your life. But
Come on, preach.
what Queen is saying is things pertaining to how the person is trying to make you feel in the relationship. But in the definition of the man itself, he has to be comfortable with himself already, one, but two, he has to have everything established in him and around him. That's for me a definition of a man. Because when you're comfortable with yourself, nobody can shake or break you. Your foundation is solid.
Okay.
But
Chris.
I'm gonna keep it minimal because I be on a tangent.
Yeah,
So I'll
because
just go back
everybody
to my
got a
Latona
rebuttal.
or whatever.
Chris,
Based
go
on
ahead.
what I just heard, here's what I gotta know. If by y'all admission, I'm not throwing stones, y'all admission you emotional, you're not like stable, you're not like all the way there. Why would somebody who is stable want to pursue you then? Like, I mean,
You might
for
wanna
me
go ask
personally, I'm
them.
not bragging, but I've reached a level of maturity and stability, and I had to fight for it. It took a lot. It was a battle.
I'm
And
trying
once
to tell
I
you.
got to that level of peace, I don't want anybody who's going to drag me back down. So why would somebody who is stable go for you if you're not stable?
I want to ask them because they sure do.
Child.
I think a lot of times they don't realize, like, when you're sincere with them and tell them, like, listen, I still got baggage. There's things that it is what it is.
We're gonna hold on you for a second, Queen, because everybody had something. Wait, Jess, I gotta go through everybody. I'm gonna come back, I promise. XD, go ahead.
Hey,
For the Lord has told me. And when he told me to ask this question, he gave me the strength. He gave me the strength to ask. If y'all not mentally and spiritually well, why are y'all looking for that in another man? Relationship. That don't make sense.
They just
You
be
just
falling in my lap.
Queen admitted that she's emotional. She does crazy things. And her expectation is for somebody to come chase after her when she gets into those attitudes. Most men won't do that because that's
a lie.
hazard.
Let me tell you that now. Every man that I've been with has chased. Baby, I don't know who you are. You might not. But all the men I've been with, chased. Just had to put that in there.
Okay, Nate.
Okay.
Nate, it's up to say. Go ahead, Nate. I think he froze again.
He definitely froze.
You said you
What
wanted
you
to
say?
jump in on this on
I
the
say,
rebuttal.
well,
Pastor Juice almost came out.
yeah, no,
I need a shot, but I can't even get up.
I would send one your way, but
it's wanting that effort that thing work for. You know what I mean? Like it's wanting all of that fight.
Hold on, I gotta text my nurses.
You hear me?
tell them you want a shot.
No, to put my ice bag back at the freezer.
Oh.
It's a whole ordeal to get out this bed and to get back in it. It'll take me 10 minutes. So, but somebody already snitched on me and said I was doing too much. So,
But
we're going to move on from
all
that one. We're going to move
Next
on
question.
from that. We're going to move on.
They want all that fight.
Yes, Jessica.
No, I was gonna say, to go off of XD and Chris, in regards to the responses, is very responsibility to have to chase the girl, because one is like
I guess
you're
y'all
making
can't
it
hear
a
me.
Making it what?
you're making it a game instead of really putting work into the relationship. No one is saying that you have to be perfect, but you have to be well enough to hold your own as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because one side can't be up and then the other side could be down.
Sorry, you lost me on that one.
We all
So
Like,
never mind.
yeah.
you were saying it's the man's responsibility to always chase? Is that
Oh,
what?
I meant this.
Not. I
Because it's like,
was agreeing with y'all.
Oh,
she's
okay.
agreeing with
Okay.
y'all. That's what she was saying.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
move
Let's
on
just run
to
with
the
that
next.
then.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
move on to the next question now. The women want to know. Hey. I'm moving on to the next question. Okay. The women want to know, and this is a good follow-up question to the question that was asked. Like I said, this is random. I'm just picking up out of here. Okay. I'm folding them all up. The women want to know, why do guys go after girls that are less than half of what they already have in plain sight? So
Give a
say,
little bit more context, like going after them while we're in a relationship or while we're single.
I don't know what that noise is. Okay.
More excitement.
Nate said more excitement. So basically, what I'm thinking the question means is, like, if you have somebody around you that you know already is a good woman, blah blah blah, y'all will go after somebody who don't have none of that woman's attributes, have less than half of what that woman has. You're gonna go for her instead. Kind of like why women go for the bad boys. Why do men go for?
But y'all
Go ahead.
That's easy to answer.
Huh? Go ahead. Somebody, any one of the men can answer that.
I mean, we have the perfect example in Queen.
Damn it, Ed.
because women, people.
I mean,
it's
just being honest.
You can connect with people more or less.
I'm gonna refill my drink. I don't like to.
What you say, Nate? You still like your sound is really low, Nate.
No, but it's more than that, because a person can get caught in the things they got and forget that they supposed to connect. You know what I mean?
Feel that. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave y'all for like 3 minutes. Y'all can keep talking about that.
They forget.
I just gotta.
Can you hear me better? Yo,
Yes.
What about
You still, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but look, they forget, like, person can forget they supposed to even have a whole vibe with you. Like, they get to telling you something with the words, but they actions be speaking different. You know what I'm saying? So it don't be about what they about they looks. It be about what that other person doing for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be connected with somebody on something different. They ain't about what they got. They can not have nothing, and you can connect with them way different. So a lot of times it can be a lost connection. So people be saying like, "Well, you got everything right here," but is that really everything to them? Still, like that person probably nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about physically. I'm talking about on other levels, but they probably don't connect with that person, and they probably don't receive that person. That means a lot. It don't matter if you fine. It don't matter if you fine.
Right, I feel that.
You can be a fine doctor.
Because like no matter what you got, you have to let people know.
Like as far as getting to know me, like people, women, people try to trick your mind these days when it's really a feeling.
I mean, it's like going to like a fancy restaurant or something.
They try to trick you on a feeling, and you can't replace the real feeling of being loved. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like I can go to a fancy restaurant and just like jeans and hoodie or whatever.
But I feel so crazy for you. Call you boo. They call you boo and beta. But the service sucks.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah. I had to want y'all to see how I gotta get in this bed. So okay. We back. To chime in on that one, which one was that? That was the half. I think Tyler Perry movies, which by the way, I believe are toxic. Anyway, and dysfunctional. It's almost like that 80-20 thing. Like you have somebody in front of you that could be the 80, right? But you see somebody over here that could be the 20. And for some reason, that 20% seems more appealing than the 80, so they go over there. But I think men and women both do that. It ain't just...
Okay, yeah.
That's just... I'm going to keep one of men and women both do that.
For sure.
Like, at least... women go into a lot of things thinking at least. Well, at least he... No, ma'am. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's the least he can do when you say at least.
Because, I mean, it's like my thing, like piggybacking off what Nate said, like, you can have like everything there, but are you really connecting with me? And like my example was, I can go to a fancy restaurant if I'm in my hoodie and jeans or whatever. Like, am I going to be welcome at the door? Like, I might be hungry, I might be able to afford to play to anything they got, but am I going to be welcome in there? It's the question. And if I'm not welcome, I'm just going to go somewhere else.
Right. The guy moving on again because it's only 11 questions for each group. So, the men want to know, what does it honestly take to make you personally happy?
Oh, Lord.
Hey, men ask these questions. For me,
I'm saying that because y'all don't know.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna go with something because me, Jess, and Queen all go to the same church. I'm gonna tell you something. My pastor Tay said, "You can't make me happy, but you can make me smile." You can't make me happy. You can make me smile. I make myself happy. My joy comes from a place nobody can take. So, well, in that sense, the things that make me happy, I don't want to try to look for that in something outside of the Lord, as far as I'm concerned. You can make me smile. My people brought me a care package the other day. It made me smile. It made me feel good. But it didn't make me, it's not the source of my happiness. So that question is, but what I need from a man in a relationship to continue on my happiness? I'm going to try to say this as plain as possible. Bother me when I want to be bothered. Food, attention, sleep, and dick. That's pretty much it. That's it. There's some other stuff that go in there, but that's the short version. Go ahead, Jessica. I see you. Honestly, go ahead, Jayla.
honestly, just to make me happy is the reciprocated type of love. I come with a
Mhm,
lot of heart, and I
mhm.
put a lot of my all into a person, and that's all I ask for anybody. I don't care about like the big old flashy money that dangles in front of the face. All of that is
Right.
materialistic stuff. As long as you
Mhm.
can respect,
You froze with your mouth wide open at that.
because we're in this together.
Right. Right.
My answer.
I'm almost scared. Queen,
I
Oh
don't ask
Lord.
for much.
you don't ask for much. I don't believe that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I really don't ask for much.
Uh-huh.
All that Bible
I
talking, she just lied.
I think my biggest thing is time and touch. That's my love language. So I need to feel like you're legit making time for me.
Mhm.
And um you have to baby me. Like I like my head rubbed. I like my ankles rubbed. Like you have to
That's
like
intimacy though, not really babying. But yeah.
no. I need baby. So I want to put my head on your lap and you rub my head until I go to sleep. Like I will whine and I want you to cater to it. You don't have to materialistically support me. You just have to make time. XD look like what in the world? People do it. That's why I'm this way. Um, and overall, just you like to be honest, and this is gonna sound so cliche. I think that you just in general have to be a man of God because a man of God is gonna know like how to do certain things where it doesn't seem like it's being too ridiculous. And I think a man that is generally interested in you and genuinely wants to be with you is going to do the things that make you happy, whether it seems like it's done with someone else or not. So, you know, I don't require much. Just baby me a little bit.
She
Spend
said
time
all
with
that
me.
didn't say much.
That's not much. I could be asking for a whole lot. I just want time and touch. Make sure you pay attention to me. Love me.
All
Y'all
right.
rude. Y'all rude. Which one of y'all is in a relationship? Who here is married? Okay.
I'm
'Cause
divorced. So you know. So
Hold
I'm
you're in a
on.
gonna go
relationship.
I'm going to the next question. Nope. Next question.
No,
Who did
no,
I
we
ask
need
last?
response after that.
Go ahead. Somebody, anybody. I don't want to talk
No,
about
we
it.
got some responses for all that.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Can
So,
I please stop?
Go
Look,
ahead. Go ahead.
I totally hear you, Queen. I totally hear you. But at the end of the day, it's how can I serve you? Especially for a woman of God, if you're looking for a man of God, it's how can I serve you? Just like with the man, how can you serve me? Because
Mhm.
it's pleasing. It's I want to be able to please you. I want to be able to make my man
That's
feel
never been an
good.
issue.
It's not
We'll
about
just
what he
Well,
ask
can
me
do
what
for
do
me.
I
It's
look
what can I
for?
do for you.
come on, oil. She
Listen,
got oil
That's
all
what
on
I'm
that
saying.
question, girl.
it ain't
But no,
never
but
been an
listen,
issue. He
all of
gets
you,
spoiled. He gets everything
all
he
of you,
wants. But y'all ask me what do I want. You ain't ask me what does he want from me.
but I'm just,
He gonna get the world. Treat me right. You get whatever you want. I'll buy you a PS5 if you really deserve it, but
but it
you better deserve it.
now wait a
I
minute.
need my
Hold on
time and
now.
touch.
still falls under
I
that.
need my time and touch.
Hold
I
on,
can't,
wait.
man. I can't with
But
y'all
listen,
today.
look, listen. It still falls under the bracket, but it should never be a reward per se to the other guy. Like if you do this, you get this. It's not like we giving dog treats to our men. It
No
still
one said
falls
that.
under
If that's
how
what
can I
y'all
serve you just
assume,
as if
if that's what's assumed, that's
Man,
y'all's
tell
problem.
her,
All
man.
I said is
I
what I
like you.
wanted. I
Yup.
was asked what I want. Nobody asked me what would I
Like,
do for him.
yup.
He can get whatever he
No,
wants.
that's
It's a
that's
two-way street. I would never deny my husband or anybody else about anything. And regardless, you gonna get what you deserve.
it's like
Um, but I have my needs, I'll have my wants.
Hold on. What was you saying, Nate? Go ahead.
are
He's probably-
are you like that genuinely, or is it to get some?
Am I
No,
what?
like it's like are you like genuinely like that's what I'm saying. That's that's what that's what I kind of call a fake love to me. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that the genuine connection, like really connecting with a person that just want to really see you happy and you want to see them happy, and it's not a man or like a role you're trying to fill, but you really built yourself to be a person that carry yourself like that. Like it matter, and a lot of times people try to
Mm-hmm.
fool you, but we don't be fooled. Like we can tell that it's not a real connection because we don't feel it. If I don't feel it on my end, how can you say you feel a certain way for me? You know what I mean? And that's what happened a lot of
Right.
times. Like I haven't felt
We is ignorant, and I'm
love
just.
a real genuine woman rub here to the point, you know what I mean? To the point it really
Mm.
felt from the heart and it wasn't, you know what I mean? So that's the feeling you go for. It don't be no words. Like that's the thing, it's all words and what you gonna do for me these days. That get old too. It's like I go to work
Period.
and I gotta work.
Right.
Right.
Like if I want a list of tasks and requirements, I just get another job. Like,
Are we watching our language with this?
Huh? No. He done cursed. I done cursed.
Yeah,
Queen done
thank you.
cursed. We done cursed. He done rolled up a whole blunt, sir. We. So yeah.
I'm gonna do all the things you
Did
asked
you
me
miss
for.
that
I
part?
was gonna do for you. I was gonna do that. Like you're fine. I'm finna rub your hair in, but don't come and tell.
Yeah, I feel.
You're
I
making
get
some
you,
good
Nate.
points, but he
Don't
keeps
tell
going
me.
out.
Yeah, you
No,
making
you know
some
my
excellent
phone
points,
clicked out.
but yeah, this is. To go off of what Nate was saying. Me and my squad have had this conversation before, and it's almost like with the submitting thing. I don't have a problem submitting to a man if he gave me something to submit to, but like he was saying, as a man or as a woman or anybody who works all day and they striving to be something all day, they don't want to get in a relationship and feel like that's a job. Now, a relationship is work, but you don't want it to feel like that job you hate going to every day. Like every other day, I want to put in my 2 weeks notice. I hate it here. If Cheryl say one thing to me on this job type of job, you don't want that same feeling in your relationship.
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, who question was that last? Because I knew this was gonna
The
go this
women?
way.
Yeah, I think it was
Huh?
a women question.
Women asked the question.
No, men asked the
No,
question.
men ask women.
Okay. Let me go over here. Let me unravel this. See what this says. This says, can a man and woman have a good relationship if they are also business partners?
Yeah.
Agreed.
That was an easy one.
Dudes.
It depends, because if you
Yeah.
don't know what I do, you can be my cheerleader and my supporter or whatever, but I don't necessarily need you to be my business partner unless we're in the same line of work. If we're not in the same line of work, you can be supportive, but I'm one of those people. Okay, I'm divorced. Okay, I was the same person for almost 10 years. Then we started working together. Then I saw them every day, all day, at home and at work. And when you're with somebody that long, it be sometimes where you think, why are you here? You here every day. You blink all day. Do you really breathe like that? You get to that point. So, and how I work, when I write and I'm creating stuff, I don't want to be bothered usually because I'm trying to concentrate. But you can share my posts. You can be like, hey, my girl doing this. You can do that. And that would work better for me if you being a cheerleader or supporter of mine, not necessarily my partner. Now, if we start a company or something together, cool. But you'd have to be in my line of work for me to yeah. Go ahead, Jayla. So go ahead, Jayla. So I see your hand up. I love how she just
One
put her
thing
hand.
with that, one thing with that, when you're entering a level of being a business partner with your spouse, you have to be able to understand and know your role, and that's for both sides of the party. In order for it to be successful and to make it work. If you guys don't know where you guys stand and what your role is, it's not gonna be successful.
Right.
And you're always gonna you're always become frustrated with what you guys are trying to build, and it's no longer gonna feel organic. It's no longer gonna feel fun and worth fighting for.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, it can work, but like, don't keep your honey where you make your money. Like, that's
Come on, somebody. This is my thing. Because I
right.
feel like everybody, when I did my episode of Aftermath of Losing Yourself, it got to be something that's just yours. I know you're in a relationship and I know y'all together, but it got to be something that's just mine. I wouldn't mind having my future husband as my business partner, but
Mm.
like I got a business with my sisters, and we all have our role. Like Jessica said, I did with the people, my sister did with the decorations, the other sister did with the food. Now we bring that all together and work as a team. But I stay in my lane and they stay in their lane. I don't go over there and try to do what my big sister be doing because that ain't me. She don't come up. She don't have the patience to deal with the people. So that's me. I can cook, but not on the chef level like my little sister. So I'm not. I'm gonna stay in my lane and we work together as a unit. We could do it like as long as we still a unit and a team. We can work together. But like Jen said, you got to know your role. Stay over there. We walking on the same path. Our paths are just next to one another. We go in the same place, is what I mean. But you don't have to walk on my part to get there. You can walk on your part. We get there at the same time. That's how I feel about that. XD, you got a comment on that one?
I'm ready for the next one. This one was pretty much
Okay.
cut and dry.
This is a question for the women. Why do you assume men are going to pick up on your nonverbals? I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in on this one.
Is he not filled with the Holy Spirit? Do you not talk to the Lord? You better consult with him. Ask him what you did wrong.
Even he gave us a still small voice, though.
Then use it.
Hold on, Jess. I got.
See, that's where his
Go
will,
into the
not
prayer
yours.
closet and figure out what you did wrong.
I got a point for this. So, a couple weeks ago, me and Gloria did a whole live episode on communication. And according to Harvard Law Review, 80% of communication is nonverbal anyway. So, what women don't like is, you know, you did something to make us mad. And we don't like the questions, oh, you mad? I'm frowning.
What you
I have
think?
the look of death in my eyes. I want to kill you right now. Am I mad? But I get why they ask on to, play devil advocate for a second. Men, and I think some men told me this, they don't think about stuff like we think about stuff. We think about everything for no reason. So it literally don't even cross their mind. They can't read our minds. We want them to, but they can't. You're gonna have to talk. You're gonna have to say something. Go ahead.
If you know that, why get upset? So if you know that, why get upset?
Because you ain't consult with the
If
Lord
you
like
know
you
we
was
don't
supposed
think-
to.
No, we get upset because, well, for me, I would usually get upset if we've been together for a long time. I feel like you should know me by now. You know what I do when I'm upset. You know how I act when I get mad. You've seen all of that already. You know that already. So don't come into, don't all of a sudden act like you don't know what it means when I do this or when I do that. Still, though, you still have to talk, though. You still got to say something. And a lot of times for me, I need to wait until I calm down. And when I don't wait until I calm down, all the emotions come out like vomit. So I need working on that. I need to wait until I calm down.
See, that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating part. Because basically what I've heard all night since we started this is I can be upset, and I can be mean, and I can be angry, and you're supposed to just deal with it.
Who said that? That's not me. That's me. I want to be left alone.
That's the vibe. That's the vibe to get off.
Personally.
I don't think so. I think it's sometimes you just have to know your partner. You have to know, like, there's a grace period to certain things. And so, especially in a marriage, if you want to, or in a serious relationship, period, you have to agree to just let it be for a little bit. Like, I'm the type of person, I just don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to ask you to assume what you did wrong in the beginning. When I'm mad, you better figure it out. Go talk to the Lord. Come talk to me tomorrow. But that first day, go talk to the Lord.
And I don't even need the first day, because I usually get over stuff pretty quick, so quick that people don't think I'm over
I
it.
don't.
But
I hold
for
it
what?
good.
Like, why do you want to be mad that long, though?
I mean, I don't be mad. I just don't want to be bothered by you. I want you to leave me alone so I can think my thoughts through, analyze, am I being irrational, emotional, or what? And then tomorrow we'll talk. But that first day, you don't want to talk to me.
The day is too long because I don't want to go to sleep angry. Go ahead.
I don't go to sleep angry. I just go to sleep knowing what I feel.
Bothered.
I'm not bothered. I just don't want to be bothered by somebody else that first day. You can talk to me later on, but the next day, you can come over if you're gonna be silent. But I don't really want to argue with you right now. I'm
Go ahead,
tired.
Jayla. So speak now, forever hold your peace.
So it's a few things that I gathered. I'm not gonna harp on it too long. One thing I know for sure that I'm still learning is to understand the difference between us, you, for trying to build that anticipation for the other person to know exactly what you're going through, and to just being able to express what you're going through. Because like XD and Chris said, they can't always read our minds, and we can't always read their. Was saying you can't stay mad for so long and not allow them to come in and try to work with you, like work out the problem with you. Because if you let it fester on like that, everything else on is irritating to you, and it's not gonna be doable no more. Because you make yourself hard to work with. As far as like communication, you make a guy want to leave. It's no longer you're no longer you're no longer accessible to them to be able to talk about anything, because right now you just shutting everything down and you're not taking the time to work through it.
Right.
Did anybody else see the naked lady walk by?
At the situation.
What you saying, XD?
Did anybody else see the naked lady walk by?
It's not a naked lady, it's Queen's son.
Oh
no.
Queen's son going back and forth. Ed, get some help. See what's going on.
But I agree with what she's saying. Because the one thing that I don't get is when a woman gets upset, if you don't want to talk about it, if you don't want to acknowledge the situation, how can you grow from it and learn to strengthen your communication?
Right.
If everybody just walk around mad, nothing gets fixed.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. We're going to, that was a man's question for the women. This is a women's question for the man. Some of y'all asked two questions in one. This question is, the women want to know, what's the difference between wife and girlfriend duties? And why do men get so defensive when women set their own boundaries for said duties?
To answer the second part of that.
What was that? I didn't even hear the question. I was listening to my kid.
The question is, what's the difference between wife and girlfriend duties? And why do men get so defensive when women set their own boundaries for said duties?
To answer the second part of that, usually the boundaries get set after it's already happened. Like after we done had sex, you want to say, okay, now you got to earn me if you want to have sex with me.
But you did it now.
Like Black Panther said, that challenge is over. It's done. Like as far as what the difference is between them, I mean, it's going to be different for everybody. Like some people decide like sex before marriage or sex in general is just wife and husband thing. That's what they do. Some people decide like cook and clean, help me like take care of the house. That's wife husband thing. So I mean, it all depends on like who you with and like what their preference is.
To me, I get confused about that type of positions because most women that I talk to would do all the things that a wife should do at the beginning. They step out of their lane, but then they have expectations of being a wife when you don't have that role.
Mm-hmm. For me, my sister has been married for 20 years, right? And she put, because I asked this question in the Queen's Room podcast group, and she said she didn't do none of the stuff that she does for her husband right now that she did when they was dating, besides the sex part. Because, they've been married for 20 years. My nephew's 20. So, and I had to think about it. She really didn't. She didn't go to his house and clean up nothing. She didn't cook him no meals. She didn't do none of that. None of that stuff.
Yeah, and see, like personally, I wouldn't expect my girlfriend to do any of that.
So, and I think women do cross that boundary line between girlfriend and wife duties because they're trying to show you that they can be a good wife.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you to see it beforehand. But I'm like, no.
Yeah, because then when you do it and then you back up and say like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. They're like, wait, what?
Where'd that come from?
Right.
So,
don't start. And I like expectation. I'm like, now I got to marry you if I want to have a home cooked meal.
Right. When you should marry me to get the home cooked meal to begin with, because that's the only way you're going to get it. Not like I'm going to give you a piece of it, a teaser of it, and then you get it later. No, that's not, no. And people laugh at me now when I say, I don't want to live with nobody. Because I live with all in the other past relationship. I don't want to live with you. I don't want to live with you before we get married. I really don't. You can stay at your house. I'm going to stay at my house. You might can even spend the night a few times. But at the end of the day, you need to take your ass home because you don't live here. This is my house. You got your house. You understand? Yeah, it'll become our house if we become an R. But before that, you stay over there. I can stay over here. It can be 3:00 in the morning. It's dark outside. It's cold, wet, and raining. Hey, you going home today? Or I'm not putting you no drawer in my house. I might give you a key, but you don't live here. I'm just saying.
Drawer.
Ain't no drawers. Ain't no toothbrush. You can't. This is my house. You go to your house today. Okay.
I mean, I think toothbrush is fine, certain little things, but I think expectations are different with especially men now. I think in general expectations are different. People think it's okay to do all the above, and then they get upset when you get stuck living in this minimal life because you've already done everything there is to do. So why is someone going to make you a wife when you've been cooking and cleaning and taking care of their household? And I've been in that situation where I used to literally meal prep, cook him meals, do all this stuff, make sure his house was taken care of. And then I was like, no, never, no, not again. We can do sleepovers. I might cook and ask you if you want a plate, but will I be cooking your favorite meals 24/7 and meal prepping for you, making sure your breakfast, lunch, and dinner is taken care of? No, it's not my job. But I also would rather I'll cook just because, like, that's my thing, and I cook for people, period. So I would go to church and cook for people and just give it to them, and that's just what it is. So it's nothing special for me. But I think a lot of times, especially nowadays, people are so used to the shacking up and the just doing the roles to just do them, and then they get pissed off when there isn't anything more, because it's like, well, what more do they have to do? Because you can't give anything else. You've given it all. Why would they marry you? Why are you going to marry them? Like,
they can get everything from you, all the wifely things from you without getting the ring. So why do it?
Right. And then when you start to shack up, it becomes, well, we're already living together. What's the difference? It's a piece of paper. Well,
I mean, that's the biggest problem right there. That shacking up and moving fast, it kind of blinds you from the responsibilities of what you're supposed to be doing. But we're all doing that. We're all moving fast.
Reality.
Expectations being here, but not there.
Right.
Right.
Oh my
And
God,
I
did
think that's a
disagree
lot of
with
things
Queen?
is people are just comfortable. Like they get real comfortable in living this shacked up life. And I've done it before, but I just think it's weird. Like my ex and I, we slept the night at each other's house every night. Didn't really have a key, but I would cook and clean and do all this other stuff. And then after we broke up, I like one thing that my pastor at the time told me, he said, my job is to make sure that at the end of the day, when you leave here, that you know what you've done. So he basically said that man would have married you had you not given him the key to everything. He said you did everything he wanted you to do. Had you put your
Without,
foot down and said no, he wouldn't have he would have married you a long time ago. And I was like,
now it's too late. I got a homegirl.
right.
Her and her boyfriend been together for 10 years and they got 3
Boyfriend?
kids.
10 years?
And she be like, it's gonna happen one day, it's gonna happen one day. And he
Mm-mm.
keeps telling her it's not. And I'm like,
It's
man,
not.
it's been 10 years. 10. If that man was gonna marry you, he would have did it after the second baby he put in here.
Girl.
Or before the baby came. Okay.
No.
You have 3 children.
I disagree with that.
If he marries her, it's only
So what I
because he's
mean by
tired of
that is
hearing her
sometimes
mouth.
Mm-hmm. What you saying, XD?
I disagree with the previous statement about doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most powerful thing to a man that I think sometimes women don't understand is when a woman says no.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman says no, it creates boundaries and gives the man opportunity to know who she are and what she likes and dislikes. But when the
Mm-hmm.
woman gives us everything that we want, as far as cleaning, food, and sex, we turn into a living genie that we can just go to and get whatever we want. So we have expectation you to just do everything. But when you say no, creates opportunity for me to learn who you are as a woman, to really dwell with you, see what you like and dislike, so I can connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like playing pinball. The ball is going to go everywhere, but it gets denied. It goes to another direction. And once you tell me no, like if I wanted to have sex, you say, "Well, I prefer that we wait." I'm going to have to respect your wishes if I want to continue being with you. Then that allows me to know, okay, I have to go down with her. I have to get to know her. I have to take my time.
Mm-hmm.
So no is powerful, and it creates better communication. But women give everything and then expect a ring, and that don't work all the time.
Mm-hmm. Everything ain't gonna get you the ring. Boundaries
Exactly.
will. That's what he's saying. No, I feel that. This next question, the men want to know. Jessica, sorry, Jessica, do not raise your hand until I read the entire question. Do you hear me? Put your hand down because I don't even want you to get it ready up. Put it down until I read the entire question. Do you hear me? Because I knew when I got this question. I'm going to read it. And the question they want to know is, what would it take and what would society have to be like for women to feel comfortable being feminine again instead of these no-limit soldiers?
Wait, what?
What would it take? And what would society have to be like for women to feel comfortable being feminine again instead of these no-limit soldiers?
Ooh, I'm not gonna say anything.
The audacity.
I ain't no.
I'm
Mm-mm.
a lady all the time. So I have a very dominant personality, but I don't aspire at all to be a man. I'm just very sure about, things when I say them. I don't understand. Because they don't.
INDE.
I mean, because there's a such thing as an independent woman, and then there are some of these women who. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to play devil advocate with this one. There are some of these women who I don't need a man, I don't want a man, I could do everything by myself, blah blah blah, and they make a point to make an announcement that they're single every other day. And I love being single. I'm not bothered by being single, blah blah blah. Well, be quiet. Well, be quiet then. Because you annoy me.
Forgot to
Be
add
quiet.
that.
I know it annoys the bed. It annoys me. Be quiet then. Just like I don't like if you're grown, you have to keep saying I'm grown. If you're an adult, you have to keep saying I'm an adult. If you don't want no man, then stop talking about how you don't want one. That's it. Just that's
Turn it
it.
up.
Go ahead, Jessica. She was ready.
I'm not even gonna stir the pot. I'm just gonna add on to you really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Your character enters the room before you open your mouth to speak. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to prove who you are or what you say that you are. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just gonna leave it right there. I'm not even gonna.
I got what you mean.
Yeah.
Ed, you had your hand up.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm saying, did you have something you want to say? Jessica was finished. What would society have to be like?
Mm,
I'm gonna answer that part. Um, because I was a tomboy for a long time, but as I got older, I became more feminine, and it's just because somebody had to let me know, like, if you want a man in the relationship, you can't be the man too. Even if you see the problem that we have as independent women, we're so used to doing everything ourselves and knowing how to do everything ourselves, or me having a dad who know how to do it. So the things I will be asking for my man for, I already know how to do. And if I don't trust you, then I'm not going to ask you how do on any of the manly things. But also, I'm kind of old fashioned in the sense that if I'm in a relationship with a man, it's certain things I'm not going to do because you're here. You live here with me. If you live here with me and you're the man, I'm not taking no trash out. I will take the trash out, and I have taken the trash out, but I'm not touching that trash because you're here. You understand what I'm saying? I know how to check my oil, but if I have a man in my life, why am I doing that? You could do that.
that's dangerous.
What's dangerous?
I agree.
The expectation.
That
Well, here's the
thinking
thing.
is dangerous. Hold on, let me explain why.
Go ahead.
Because if you go with that, I
Mhm.
can say, well, you're the woman, and dinner ain't done ready when I get home from work. We're going to have a problem.
Exactly.
See,
You're
here's
the
where I
woman.
differ on that. Here's where I differ on that. And this is something my grandmother told me.
You're the one. Hold on, I'm not finished.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because I got to go ahead.
But you're the woman. So when a man, as the man, when I want sex, you are to give me sex whenever I want it, regardless if you feel like it or not. You are the woman.
Right.
So when I say I want me a bologna sandwich, you are to go in there and make it because I am the man. See, when we put those type of roles on people or expectations, it's wrong because we have to be able to work together. We have to be able
Right.
to move at the same light. We can't put expectations on one another.
So there's a difference between expectation and standards, though. Because I said I will take the trash out, but I don't want to. If you're there, I don't. I'm just saying.
So Jessica got a point, so I'm gonna let her go.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna be really quick. Your relationship is gonna be a continuous partnership.
Yes.
And to piggyback off of what XD said, you cannot assign roles to people because that's tension in the relationship. If this is something that you desire or what you would prefer, you can express it to your spouse. But as far as assigning it to them, you're already putting yourself in that dominating category, and you're not allowing him to be the man that he needs to be in the relationship. Like it has to be equal on both sides. So I understand where Samia's coming from, but just looking from the outside in from the man's perspective, I have to be fair and say, you know what? We're in this together. It is a partnership. So I have to respect my man's for what he feels comfortable with and what he should respect for me for what I feel comfortable with.
Right. But for me, I was saying that's a conversation we're gonna have. Go ahead.
One last thing. And also too, I'm gonna use the trash for example. A real man still would not let the woman take out the trash in some occasion because I'm gonna put it like this: a woman, his job is to protect the woman, and then the woman's job is to be the help or the aid.
Help
So
me.
if 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 your foundation or if your moral compass doesn't have anything to trigger you to say that, okay, my job is to protect my lady, then it's gonna fall apart. And it
Mhm.
kind of falls under the topic or his point for XD of what he was saying about assigning roles. To an
Mhm.
extent, you really can't do that. It's not gonna work. It's like water and oil. It's not gonna work. Like
Mhm.
at all. .com. Period. Hashtag. Like no.
Comma, exclamation point. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I wouldn't assign the roles to you, but I was getting ready to give an example. My grandmother and my grandfather was married for 52 years. I think everybody in here heard this story except for Queen. And my granny told me, I don't have a problem cooking your granddaddy food because I was here all day. He was at work. But if it's the other way around, I saw my granddaddy cook for my granny plenty of times. I saw my granny take the trash out plenty of times, but my granddaddy wasn't home. That's what I'm saying. So it was always a balance. And they old school Mississippi, been married since the 50s or 60s, whatever hell they got married. It was a long time ago. It was still segregation and all that. That's how long ago this was. So for me, it's not a role that I will be assigned. It's a conversation that we've already had. Like this is my standard to be with me. This is what I would expect of you. It's like I like to cook. So you wouldn't have to ask me to cook because if I'm hungry and he been out all day and I've been out all day and I get home first, well, of course this nigga gonna be hungry when he get here. I don't have a problem having food ready. Whoever get home first. The trash is heavy. I got a bad back. And the person I'm with should already know. For real, honest to God truth, I got a bad back. I'm not taking that trash out. You can do that. You can do that, but it would have to be a communication first. Hey, this is what I expect from you in this house. And let me know what you expect of me. And I got to let you know. Because if you don't say anything, then it becomes a role that you should just psychically know to jump into. But if I'm telling you right now, I don't want to take the trash out. You either accept that or you don't. And as a man, you could say, I want sex when I want it. I can either accept that or don't. So,
I have a
but
question.
yeah, go ahead.
I've always wanted to ask women this because it bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
We, as men, we rarely say, if you was a real woman, you should do this. But we always hear women say, if you was a real man, do this. Like, where does that come from?
I don't know because I ain't never told a man that.
Right.
Go ahead, Jess. I've never. I feel like that's baiting or goading the man. It's just gonna try to start. That's just starting an argument. You just, basically emasculated him and called him a bitch. If you use that sentence, I don't like that word.
It comes from falsified relationships that we see on social media instead of experiencing it up close and personal ourselves.
If she don't preach today, she always come with a word.
It's true. And like I say this not to say like to come up with the word, but I say it in all like realness. Think about it. Love and hip hop, it really it doesn't really highlight the black love relationship in a healthy
at all.
Like the only person that's really trying to change that per se is Tyler Perry in his movies. I know that the wig may be, a little shifted to the left, but I'm just saying he comes through, but he makes us see from both angles, not just a one-sided example that I can respect. All right, now that you're stealing my church fingers to me, I'll just hush and find my corner.
For the Tyler Perry thing, this is my problem with Tyler Perry. Most of his movies, it always seems like the black woman have to go through so much strife and turmoil and heartbreak, and then you go through all that, and boom, you're rewarded with a good man at the end. Like it's a prize. Like Now, don't get me wrong, having a good black man in your life is a blessing, but this is not a vending machine. This ain't where you put the quarters in and you try to pick up, the thing with the claw. I don't feel like no woman, black or not black, should have to go through all of this trials and tribulations unnecessarily, and then boom, you went through that, so now you deserve a good man. No, every good woman deserves a good man. Period. It shouldn't be. That's my problem with the Tyler Perry movies, because all the women go through so much strife and turmoil, and then they show you that, and then women get to thinking and believing, if I just stick with this one and go through all of this one, he gonna turn around and it's gonna turn. I don't like that narrative.
Hold on.
Sometimes y'all women be in the presence of a good man and y'all ignore him.
Yes, because you didn't enough drama or anything happen before you met him, so you don't think that's the one.
Why y'all talking about my life?
I'm just saying.
Check this out though. From what you were saying to me, as far as like staying by him and seeing if this will work out, sometimes you stay in that quote unquote relationship with that person, you're really just setting them up for the next person that they're really supposed to be with. So sometimes you also gotta know where you are supposed to be in whether a season or a lifetime. You can't mix the two.
Yeah, but this is the thing. The women confuse the season, they confuse the two all the time.
But that's because their heart takes the leap or makes the first step before their actual
brain
intellect.
That's why the Bible tells us to guard our heart above all else. And I've said this a couple of times to a couple of people. Love can be logical, and people don't believe that. It's just a feeling. No. There is some logic in love. You got to think sometimes.
Right. So that brings
goes back to.
Oh, sorry.
It goes back to what I was trying to explain to Queen's Realm about the cuddle season and how men operate. So, just for entertainment purposes, I'll explain it again with Chris here. And Chris, if you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is the cuddle season where everybody knows we're finna go into holidays.
Yep.
It gets cold. You want somebody there. And also Christmas time. Most of y'all women know that most guys want a PlayStation or an Xbox. So, of course, they're going to be in your inbox trying to get with you because they feel like you're going to be that help to get them that video game system. And not to mention, next year, we're going to get into tax season. So, that's the logic that some men use. That's the logic that some men use to get y'all women. Chris, am I wrong or am I right?
You're preaching it.
I agree with him because I remember having this conversation with him the other day. And we also was talking about how men have sundress season. Women have great sweatpants season.
Sweatpants.
Queen, you got a little bit too happy.
I'm just sweatpants, basketball shorts. What it do?
But
wow,
this is why.
What I was saying is, if women base more of their attraction of a man off their actions versus their words, things would be a lot more easier to understand. Because I can talk all day and have you thinking that I'm in love with you, I want to be with you. But watch my action. Watch if I was trying to put time into everything.
Right.
But then you would see what I really do. Because I'm not going to waste my time.
Right. Okay.
As you grow wiser in age, your expectations and standards change according to what you want in your life.
Right. We go to move. Ooh, child. This question is for the men. Women want to know, why are men so defensive when it becomes time to talk about their emotions?
Because women use it against them.
Ooh, damn! It just came right up.
Yep.
That's it. Like,
yeah, that's it. We tell y'all about how he really feeling. Oh, he weak. He a punk.
I've had a man tell me that. He literally.
No, I wouldn't view it as that, but because sometimes it's so hard. It's like pulling teeth out of people. Like, how do you feel? I don't know. You don't know how you feel about nothing? I don't know.
Because if I don't trust you to really open up emotionally,
Mhm.
ain't no telling what you're gonna do with that information. So
Right. Everybody and their mama might know. Do you know this nigga was crying over here?
Right.
exactly.
It be some petty women like that. I ain't gonna lie. Go ahead, Jessica. I seen that finger.
No, I was gonna add on to say that you'll know for sure that you're a man's piece when he could actually open himself up to you without you having to pry. Because right then and there you give him the opportunity to letting you know how he really feels without no filter, without no cap. But that takes time and that takes understanding of the person, not the situation, but the person first and then the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If they open up and tell you that, okay, I'm very aggressive because of my past with my parents of always being aggressive with one another, you're not gonna understand the situation until you actually understand him.
You're right. Right.
So that comes with it. That's all I gotta say. I'm keeping it light tonight.
I want to say to that, just to piggyback off what Chris was saying, a man told me he will tell a woman anything, but like he said, they don't, there's the fear of you telling somebody else their business because he said, I watch how women talk to each other about one another. So that right there will let me know, like, I don't want to talk to you about this. But if that's supposed to be your home girl,
Right.
but men don't talk like women talk because women are women and men are men.
True.
It's more complicated than that. But I'm gonna move on. I don't want to read that question. I took this one out. This is for the women. Again, Jessica, wait until I read the entire question before your hand is raised.
I feel disrespected.
Okay?
I don't her like that.
She knows. She knows. I love it though. Is it a myth that most real women are willing to help a man build his career and finances? In other words, would you consider a man who's broke but working hard to improve? We all got. I gotta go ahead.
I could go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
I can go. It's my turn.
Um,
I'm next though. I got next. Go ahead.
Okay. To answer the question, yes, I would be willing if he is showing that he is willing for himself
Mm-hmm.
and not to prove anything to me that as to why I should help him. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Because I've been in various positions where I see someone helping themselves and they have never ever talked to me before. And I step in and I assist. But that's because I want the best for them.
Right. Okay. My turn. I've done this. I've done this, and I've probably done it for people who didn't deserve it. But I've done this because if you tell me you got a dream or goal aspiration and I say I love you, then I take it upon myself to be like, okay, if this what he say he want to do, this okay, let's find out how we can do this. How can I help you? What can I do for you? Like she was saying earlier, how can I serve you? Help you to reach your goals and your purpose. Now the problem comes in is I can't want your dream more than you do.
Right.
If you and then you can't later on down the line say, well, you didn't help me. Like Jez was saying, I can only help you as much as you want to help yourself. I'm not about to be out here doing more for your dream than you because it's not my dream, it's not my vision, it's not my purpose. That's yours. And I'm not about to take it over and do it for you. I can help you. But you gonna have to do something. Hey, you know what I'm saying? What they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. This is your baby. I will burp the baby for you and need to change the baby diaper, but this is your baby. Okay. At the end of the day. Yes, Jeff.
Also, too, for me as I'm learning too, you also got to know when to back off when you already started helping the person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be there to catch every single fall that you experience.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like it's one thing to support you, but it's another thing to watch you grow and for you to learn yourself. Because I would love for you to be able to pass on that baton to someone else who's just
Right.
as inspiring and just as ambitious as you are, and you
Right.
continue pouring on to someone else.
Mhm.
Your cup should be like oil. It should never run out. It should never run dry.
Right. Right. Queen.
Want to know the problem with your answers?
Well, whose
You want to
answers?
know the problem with all your answers?
What's the
Both of y'all
problem?
answers.
What's the problem?
They sound good, but they aren't realistic.
I'm doing it, so I'm
I've
Okay.
done it
They aren't
before.
realistic.
So I'm gonna
I'm
put
doing
this
it right
in
now.
here. I have done it several times.
Mm-hmm.
I've been with men who were broke artists working these retarded jobs at public storage, whatever.
She
I
talking
was
about somebody in
with
particular. She named the place.
I was with my ex when he was working, I forgot where, wasn't really making no money either. I've done it. What I've come to realize is that women tend to do it and it becomes like a mothering effect.
Yes.
Men sometimes and it might really just be the man because there is a difference. I know a guy right now who is a really good man of God. He is great, loving, whatever. He used to be an NFL player. The moment he stopped working, stopped playing for the CFL, his ex-wife, she was out. She cheated on him because as an uneducated black man, he could not make the type of money she was used to. She did not want him to stay at home, raise the child, do all this, even though the child was new, which is crazy. To me, my thing is, if you want to stay at home, raise the child, hey, by all means, as much as we're going to pay for daycare, I'm going to go ahead and just keep working. He, on the other hand, is trying. So although he might work for the city and might be a blue collar man and, you know, works with the trash, whatever, he's still trying. There's been instances where I've been with men who I'm like, okay, so you just expect me to mother you? Like, what? I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm paying all the bills. You don't have no ambition to do more. It sounds great when you say it, but then it turned into a resentment because you turned into being their mother. Like, I think it goes both ways. Like, it sounds nice, but then sometimes we have to look at like who we're doing it for or how long we've done it. Where we just get to a point where it's like, I don't want to do that again because I've done it and it didn't end well.
Well, like, I'm going to take it a step further as far as support goes. I support all my friends and everything that they do if I believe in it. So if I believe in my partner, I believe in my man, I'm going to support him in doing it. I've done it. You know, I was dating, as you call it, a struggling artist, somebody who wanted to be a rapper, singer, and songwriter. So, hey, still to this day trying to get that rap career off the ground. But I believe.
Mine too.
I believed in you. So I'm out here buying audio interfaces. I'm out here getting custom shoes made with your rap name on them. We at Pride handing out CDs. I'm networking for you. I'm introducing you to people who, you know, my cousin's a local radio DJ. I'm trying to get you to talk to these people. And they're not doing nothing with none of the stuff. And then later on, one of the arguments became, oh, I'm stagnant in my music career because of you.
Wish the nigga would.
Because of me? Give me my goddamn audio interface back. That thing was $300. Okay, give me the mic stand back. Give me that $112 mic. Give me that filter. Give me that Fruity Loops.
That pedal because you still suck.
If I'm the reason that you're stagnant, you don't even work. I work 2 jobs so you can work on your music. So
your music ain't going nowhere.
But everything is not realistic. I've done it. But my thing is I need to learn when to stop. Because I'll just keep trying to help you and you don't want to help you. But I want you to make it so bad because that's what you say you want. And I want you to have what you want for your life. Problem is, you say you want that for your life, but you don't want to do none of the work for it. You want me to do the work. And I don't want to do the work. Not about to do that much work. Then it's become
Okay,
my
so
dream.
like a couple follow-up questions, I guess. Like,
Mm.
are you able to tell when somebody is like willing to do that work and versus when they're not?
Yeah, of
Back
course.
then, I wasn't. I'm gonna be completely honest. Back then, I wasn't. Now, I am. Now I am. Back then, I wasn't. That's why I kept doing it.
So if you found somebody who was willing to do that work and was willing to make it happen, would you still be willing, or would you hesitate to be with them
I would
based
do
on
it.
your past
I would do it
experience?
with no hesitation. I'm sorry, I can't
Okay.
help it. That's just how I am.
Okay.
Without hesitation. You know, I see stuff all the time, and I'm like, oh, that would be good. I got a friend working on this. Let me. But yeah.
Okay, go.
Who did I ask class?
It was for the women.
It was for the women.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me ask this for the man. That was a woman question. That's gonna be next. We've all discussed this together without Queen before many times, but I'm gonna ask the question anyway because somebody wanted the questions to be asked. Why the double standard when it comes to sleeping around?
Okay.
Let's hear Almighty's answers.
I already know how they feel about this because we've talked about
Girl,
this.
don't we all?
Go. Who go? Who won't go? XD, you sitting up straight. You go
That's
ahead.
for us?
Yes, that was a
Yeah,
question for
yeah.
him.
Oh, Chris,
It's like
go first.
so-
I ain't got no sense.
What happened?
It's like it's so many layers to it, but my question is, who's putting out that double standard? Like, where are you getting that from? Because like the people who are sleeping around with you too, they obviously aren't sitting there judging you. So, like, who's promoting the double standard, basically?
And it's society, it's culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like,
I'll
we
say,
can't
like-
be responsible for what society's doing, though. Like,
XD, you was
I'm
going to
saying
say
like
something?
this. In one hand, you have a penis. The other hand, you have a vagina. See, penis can just go anywhere and do whatever it wants. That doesn't make it right.
Mhm.
No.
That doesn't make it wrong. See, but with the vagina, it's like the birthing. It's like children could be born in that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people look at it like a woman should be consider herself to be pure and clean because she holds so much responsibility with her body.
Mhm.
Not saying that's right, not saying it's wrong, but that's
Right.
an expectation for a lot of people. That's why most men, if a woman sleeps around, it's like, well, I don't want to mess with that because I want to take a chance to having sex with somebody who's been with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute you hear someone is a virgin or someone who's saving themselves, that's someone you'll go after because she holds herself to a certain level that most women
They
don't hold
don't go
themselves to.
after us. They don't go after the celibate people. Because I think me and Ed had this conversation. I was like, it's boring sometimes trying to be pure and trying not to have sex. Because you look around and you feel like, well, society is showing us that hoes is winning. And I don't mean women that sleep around. I mean women who have sex to get to do better in life. That's a hoe in my opinion. Like it's a manipulation. You using Ronnie Ho quotes. You use what you got to get what you want. Those type of women. They getting wiped left and right. Left and right. Everybody like them. They're fun. They're fun. Do their relationships last? Who knows? But they get picked faster. You know, and it's always like the men, society treats the men like it's their duty to divide and conquer. It's their duty to put their penis in whatever they feel like putting it in. And nobody can say anything. But if some dudes find out a girl's number, it could be 2. Oh my God, you had sex with somebody before me, and their whole world fall apart.
Oh,
I'm saying, but y'all,
Lord.
the man's number can be 179, and the women ignorant asses will be like, his number 179. That's not too bad. At least it ain't 200. He must know what he doing if he took down 179 women.
Oh my God.
No, but you got to look at these 179 women he took down.
You know, kind of going back to what XD's point is like, women are always just held to that higher standard. And I mean, it goes back, you get into the whole argument of, you know, chivalry versus feminism and this, and that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like socially, women are held to a higher standard.
I need to hold y'all penises to a higher standard.
Right.
I'm moving on.
Fuck
This
your
is a
scene.
Jess
question
had
for
a
the.
comment.
Go ahead, Jess. I want to just read this. The way she looking right now.
No, I was just gonna say at the end of the day, you should always have dominion over your flesh. Because honestly, that shouldn't be the first thing off your list. Because after that, like anybody could go ahead and sleep around, but what comes afterwards? Like you have no sense, you ain't got no brain, you ain't got no ambition, but it's all about the physical. And then for what? And then as far as the double standard, honestly, we put that expectation on both sides. The girl, they talk down to the girl, and they still act like they're best friends with them. But on the contrary, with guys, it's more so like how would I put it? It's more so like you conquering something, like when you bodied so many women, if that makes sense. Not every guy does that, and not every girl does that. But I'm just saying, exception, and for the majority speaking, that's what it comes down to. I'm done.
I mean, like this is one of those, like, we've had like conversations about it, and it can go like all kind of directions. But
Right. We've had this conversation, the four of us, a lot. So I'm gonna move on.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, because
I'll move on. This question is for the ladies. Nobody in this group right here asked this question. It's somebody out. I asked for questions from different men, different women with different personalities for a reason. Jessica and Queen.
I'll eat you.
Okay. The question is, why do women only have a positive relationship with an ex just in case they want to leave the door open for a secret return? And the person who gave me this, I felt like he was triggered a little bit when he gave it.
Peace out, y'all.
I'm gonna answer this. I don't put myself in the category. All because if you were an ex, you were in the past for a reason. And I don't like to visit old things. That's not gonna add on to me. But if I were to speak from that perspective, as far as keeping an ex, is just like, okay, I guess that's to help keep and boost the girl's ego. Like if the relationship that they're in now isn't working, they have someone else to fall back on, like a rebound. But you're not doing yourself any good. If anything, you're hurting yourself more. And at that point, you've lost respect for yourself, and you don't know what your standards are anymore. Now you're just taking anything that between his legs. I'm done.
Okay. When my friend gave me this question, I let him know I answered him right there. It's supposed to be for today. I said, I am friends with a couple of my exes. However, we're not besties. We're not best buds. We don't talk every day. And I had to take a year and a half off of talking to one, in a whole 2 years I'm not talking at all before I get to the point where I feel like we can be cordial. I can be your friend. But it ain't to leave. I don't want not another one of them back. They can stay in the streets where they belong. Because they're for the streets. to this day. So I don't know nothing about that life.
So
Okay. Go ahead, Queen.
what had happened was
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
feel
scared.
like everyone
Will
does
be.
it. I mean, you might be, but I'll be honest. If I don't know for sure, well, let me put it like this. I think that I probably keep a open roster, as I say sometimes. There's one or two options that are there that I can call at any point in time. They're gonna stop what they're doing, and we can pick back up where we left off. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily having to be best friends. I can cut them loose, pick up where we left off. But it's just because I get bored.
It's the familiarity you run it back to.
Yeah, like I don't want to have to go to somebody else. So if I get bored and I'm single, whatever the case might be, and I decide, okay, I don't want to be celibate, I don't want to whatever, I'm gonna hit up who I know is gonna be sitting at home. Who I know is gonna stop what they're doing. Like
for me, it's a no, because I feel like my last couple of relationships that I was in, it was an escape. I got away. I got away.
so that's the
I want to go
difference.
back. I don't want to go back to captivity.
Yeah, like I have one ex that
I'm free now.
I would never call. I just don't have that. But then I have exes that we were never on really bad terms. I just kind of just stopped dealing with you because I found somebody else. So you're still there. It wasn't nothing wrong with you. It's just I got bored. So, I got bored again.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Somebody, please.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For Queen.
Uh-huh.
Have you had a hard time finding a guy?
He that findeth a wife. I don't gotta find nobody.
Let me rephrase that then.
Reach.
Have you had a hard?
Okay, moving on.
How often do guys hit on you?
Regularly. That's not my problem at all. That's probably the problem. There's so many options. I'll be like, I'll be honest. One of my biggest issues is that a lot of people don't understand and they think I'm like shallow. But so a girl like me, because I have so many options, I don't have to settle. I can request whatever I want in life. Somebody's going to do it. Anything or my expectations as far as men and the things that I want are not expectations that somebody else hasn't fulfilled times however many. I don't date a dude who's not going to do what I don't want him to do. So I've literally been the one to be like, I can replace you. Like, let me find this replacement. And it is a problem because now it's like, okay, well, do I really want to settle? Do I want to not? I can just revert back to that, revert back to this. I mean, yeah, so I don't have a problem being found at all. It's just me wanting to stay being found. It's the problem.
Stay being found.
Stay being found. Do I want to be kept is the problem.
Okay. I'm about to go to the next. I'm going to go to the next.
I feel attacked. It's gonna be an intervention.
3 questions left for each thing. This question is for the men. Okay. The question that this person requested to be asked. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
The question that it's for the men, it is as follows. Why aren't there more men that are proud to be gentlemen? Did I read this already? Okay. Why aren't there more men that are proud to be gentlemen, but instead glorify being the new bitch? That's what it say.
What kind of dude are you looking at? Because
Right.
Why aren't there more men that are proud to be gentlemen, but instead they glorify being a new bitch? Like, I had the person that gave me this, she had to give me some context. And she said,
please,
it's more men out here that she's, in her eyes, in her view, in her opinion, that are okay with being emasculated, basically. They want you to chase them. They want you to pursue them. They want to be the girl. You know, they want you to open the door for them. They want you to pull out their chair. They want you to reach for the check sometimes. That's what she was saying when she asked this.
Where's she finding these men
the first thing I'm gonna say, you should tell your friend to like move out of her hometown and like try some dating apps or something because that ain't it.
And this person is 43. So I was just like, I need some context.
So, I mean, I gotta unpack that as like from like a psychological like standpoint. She's probably talking to some dudes that's like been married and like been done wrong in their marriage, and now they looking for like something else to replace that midlife crisis, all that going on.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly can't speak for every dude, but as for me in my house, like
That's for me in my house.
I'm not trying to be the new modern woman. Like what? Like what's wrong? Who hurt you?
I can only answer the first part of that.
Go ahead.
Now, what I mean by that is about being a gentleman is that sometimes it's hard for men to be the gentleman because a lot of women take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
A man, like for me personally, and I was talking to a woman, and I ended it because she wasted my time. But I was talking to her, and it was raining out, and I amazed her because I got out the car and got an umbrella and walked her to her vehicle, and she was tripping. Like she was like, I never thought a man would do something like that. I was like, well, that's how I am. If I'm talking to you, you're my number one concern. But the thing is, a lot of women take advantage of men when they go that extra lane. And so that's why a lot of men don't gentlemen all this.
Right, because you run into women who
second part of that question, I don't know nothing about that. So go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, like we've had our shows and we've like talked about this a little bit, and you know, it is tough being the gentleman. It is tough being like that man that, you know, the Renaissance man and everything you're supposed to be, because there are women who take advantage of it. And like I mentioned before, like how I cut off all the Red Lobster $50 dinners for first dates, and we can make chickens until you act right. So that's just where it is. But I mean, otherwise, if I'm in a relationship and I'm with somebody and, you know, we're equally yoked and all that, I have no problem being a gentleman, because I know that she's going to appreciate it and she has that trust with me.
She's not just using you because you're nice.
Right, exactly.
Because men do it to women too. It's that question is like
it goes both ways for sure.
You know, people take my kindness for weakness all the time. But what people need to realize is I can stop that at any moment. And I think women sometimes don't understand that either. A man is a gentleman because he wants to be a gentleman. But if you don't appreciate the gentleman behavior, he gonna stop being a gentleman. And that's not, you can't put that all on the man. That's, ma'am, you need to get yourself together.
Amen.
You want to be, are you somebody a man can even be gentlemanly with? If that's even a word.
Yeah.
Okay. This is for the women. We only got 2 questions left for each one now. Why do women who are 9 to 5 plus work? Wait, what? Why do women who work 9 to 5 plus entrepreneurs give men they are with a pass on accepting the 9 to 5 life and not wanting to do more? So basically, what he was asking was, if you're a woman and you work a 9 to 5 and you have a business, why do women just accept men who only want to work a 9 to 5 and they don't want to do anything else?
Mm,
That kind
I
of
got
scratched my head, but I'm like, for me speaking for myself, I wouldn't want to have just a guy that works a 9 to 5 because I'm not like, think about it. You're working to support someone else's dream, but you mean to tell me some dream that you had in your heart and your spirit that you wanted to manifest, you're just gonna be okay working a 9 to 5 and not even putting the effort to try? Come again? You need to grab a whole floor.
come
Go
on,
ahead and grab
accent
it.
came out.
Time out. I know a dude. He worked as a phlebotomist, mortician, or something.
Mm.
He worked about 10 years, worked crazy hours,
Uh-huh.
but he retired before he was 40. And now
Yeah.
he out there just doing whatever the heck he want to do.
Mhm.
So why is that a bad thing if you're like in the 9 to 5, but you're making
Hey,
the money that you need to make? Like,
a man asked this question,
right? Yeah, I
and
get that. It's like,
for me, for me, it's kind of like
Hold on,
it's
no,
like
no,
this.
wait, hold
Hold
on.
on,
I cut you off.
hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
Go ahead, Jeff, because I got something to say about that.
No, like I could understand where Chris is coming from, but just understand something. Your job, your job, just over broke, is your vehicle to where you're trying to get at in life.
Ooh,
I'm not
not just
saying that
over
every
broke.
guy or every girl has to be an yeah.
Right.
Not every guy or
Mm,
every girl has to be an entrepreneur. Just
mhm,
understand, like, if a woman has a 9 to 5 job and she's also an entrepreneur, that job
mm,
is a vehicle in order for her to get where she wants to be or needs to be in life. But that
mhm,
also means too your lifestyle will change. So you really need to consider the person that you're trying to add to your life. Because if they're not in the same lane as you are, it's
mhm,
not gonna fly at
mm.
all.
I got a comment on that
That's
because
it.
my dad is 59 years old. He worked a 9 to 5 for 20 years and retired at the age of 54. Then became an entrepreneur. But that 9 to 5, he started in one position working on the floor and worked all the way up into managing. And I mean managing the whole factory because he worked for a steel plant. So he went from all the way up. Then he retired. Got lots of 401k. It's like it's what you do in that 9 to 5 that makes the difference
Right.
for me. You know,
Exactly.
what are your plans when you leave this 9 to 5? How long do you want to work at this 9 to 5? Do you want to move up with this 9 to 5? Like, what are you doing with that? So, for me, that's not an automatic disqualification
Yeah.
because I worked 2 jobs
Hmm.
almost my whole life until recently. I have one job and my company, but everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur. Everybody is not meant to be. So I just need
that
to.
part.
What are you doing at your 9 to 5? Are you, what are your plans for that? You just got to have some goals and some
Mm-mm.
aspirations. It could be to stay at that 9 to 5 and work your way up to manager or, you know, CEO because people do it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not what I want to do with my life. But
Right.
as long as you're successful in that, you can do a lot of stuff working a 9 to 5. So I'm just,
And I mean, like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm personally all for the, work your job and then work for your dreams. Like,
mm,
I'm all about the entrepreneur life, all that, 100%.
mm,
What I have a problem with is those people who kind of feel like if you're only working a job, you're somehow less than me. And like, I'm somehow so much more woke than you are because I'm out here trying to start a business, even though I don't have people skills or know how to run a business. Just the fact that I can say that on paper or say that on social media, like
mm,
somehow I'm a higher quality human being than the rest of them.
mm,
Like, that's what I got a problem with.
I mean, strippers do that all the time.
mm,
Most women who are stripping, they are trying to own their own business or try to pay for school.
Hmm.
You got kicked out?
mm, mm. I don't know what happened there, but There ain't no time limit. That's why I use StreamYard. She was asking, do I have to start a new one? Because on Zoom they would have kicked us off by now.
I guess what's the next question?
Yeah. So let's go to the next question. What did I just ask? That was for the.
That was
okay.
for women.
That was for women. For the men. For the men. I'm gonna read this, and I know exactly. I remember exactly the conversation that led to this question. Are y'all as selective with your penis as girls are with their goods?
Huh?
By that comparison, no.
I don't get what you're trying to.
It is
You're
confusing.
asking.
Hold on, I need a pillow. So, you know how people like to say women are more selective when it comes to giving out pussy. Are men that selective with their penis? Because, yeah. No. I mean, people like to say
ask a different question, but that's how it came out. But no, because we can't get pregnant, so.
Alrighty then.
Ashley Dash.
I'd love to see their follow up and to see what they were really trying to ask there, but to answer the question, no, by that comparison, no.
I'm scared. This is a question for the women, but I'm scared. Because ain't nobody in here but me and Queen.
No, she gonna take it left field.
Here comes Jessica to save me.
She ain't here.
Oh, see, right on time.
This is a question for the men. I mean, for the women. I'm sorry, from the men. Jessica, I want you to go first. Queen, you go last. Queen, you go last. Jess, you can raise your hand whenever you feel like it on this one. This is Queen to go. This is one Queen to go last. What are you really, really looking for in a man?
Did we already answer this?
Sorry, well,
what's a different question? We asked what to make you happy. This is asking what you really, and they put really more than once. What are you really, really looking for in a man? Go ahead, Jessica. I'm just gonna go ahead and unscramble the last
one. Why are you gonna put me on
the
spotlight though, man?
Because I'm a queen to go last.
For me, I don't want. For me, I don't want to give a long laundry list of stuff. But if I have to get the bulk out of it, what I really want from someone is someone that I could grow with and build with. And I mean that to say I like to tread very lightly for what I have to say next. I'll always love the example that Sierra and Wilson have together, along with what Jay-Z and Beyonce have together. Not the allegations, not the baby mama drama, but really take the time to understand where it's coming from. No, as far as being business partners and being married at the same time, where you guys understand and know your boundaries, and you guys are making you're making generational wealth for yourself and for your kids to come. That's something big for me. But that's going off of my past or my background history, where it's in the Caribbean household, it's you have to struggle just to stay together. But really, there's no true happiness or there's no true love in the relationship. I don't want that. So that's one of the things that I wanted to change, or I would want to have blessed in my relationship. What I would want from a guy is someone that's spiritually connected. You ain't got to be religious, but have some type of relationship with God, because I have a strong
Yes.
relationship with God as I continue to
Mhm.
grow in wisdom with Him. Another thing is respect. You respect me from head to toe. It's not when you want to choose and feel like, no, you can't choose and pick when you want to respect me when it benefits you. It has to benefit the both of us.
Right.
And I guess the last thing would be is for integrity. Being able to keep it real with you from the jump. If you say you can't do something, you can't do something. If you say that you're not comfortable with doing anything, let me know from the beginning. And also too, don't pretend to be the man that you think that you want me to be, or that I think that I want you to be.
Mhm.
That's
Don't
the
send
big
your
thing.
representative. Just be yourself.
yourself. 'Cause you be exactly. You be surprised. The woman will love you more unconditionally. The right woman will love you unconditionally for who you are. You don't have to put up a wall and pretend like you're some big shot when you're really not. We're on the same plane. I know it sounds like it is, but it's to be honest at the same time. We're on the same playing field. Clearly, you saw something interesting in me to want to say, you know what? Sorry. Clearly, you saw something in me that said to yourself that, you know what? I wanna build up with her. I wanna partner up with her. I wanna be able to establish something with her and make something out of it. But
Okay,
I'm gonna
my
leave
turn.
it because on and
It's
on
my
and
turn.
that's not for it.
What's the question? Hold up. Okay. Honesty, integrity. You got to love the Lord. Period, point blank. Like a real relationship, you can't just say the scriptures, you got to do them, like Pastor be saying. Sense of humor, because I'm ignorant. Just it all seems real generic, but it's not in my head. Integrity, compassion, things of that nature. And I, Queen, it's your turn.
How you went?
Queen, it's your turn. I'm done. Queen, it's
What
your
was
turn.
the exact question? What do I
What do you
want?
really, really want in a man?
So, I'll preface this by
There you go.
I used to have a list with like 87 things on there.
Okay.
Yeah, Nisi and them helped me tear that list up. It was my top thing, he has to be a man of God. Like he has to have a relationship with God because, like I said, you better talk to the Lord about what I want to need. The Lord will get you right because Scripture says if you make your wife mad, He ain't gonna answer your prayers.
What scripture?
Yeah, that is a scripture. If you make your wife mad, the Lord does not listen to you. So that means I'm more important than you.
And what book is that in?
Let me find that scripture for you because I'm gonna find it.
That's a King James Bible because I don't know about that one.
Listen.
I got my Bible right here. What book that?
I got one too. It's right there. Let me get them. What scripture is this? That's verse 2 in Galatians. That ain't even.
No, I promise y'all, it's a real verse. I looked it up and I was like,
That's in the book of niggas.
I said Galatians.
Right. Let me get you right. You husbands, likewise, live with your wives in an understanding way, as with a weaker vessel, since she is a woman, and grant her honor as a fellow hearer of the grace, so that your prayers may not be hindered. Piss me off.
1 Peter 3:7, and what he was saying was
No. Don't piss off your wife, or I'm not gonna listen to your prayers. End of story.
All right, so we're just gonna twist the scripture. Okay, all right.
They could just mean whatever.
That's what it is.
Chris,
But,
help her out.
In
Don't
all
have
seriousness, he has to have a relationship with God, because I feel that regardless of what, we both have to have a relationship with God, because at some point in time, God is going to lead us to have to submit, because people get to a point where they just don't want to listen to the other person. So that's one thing that I do need him. He has to be an alpha male, but I need him to have his relationship with God. He has to be good with my son. My son is very on point. If my son says no, it's a no.
I understand that because
It's a no.
you and kids in here.
Yeah, and he has to know that his job is to provide and protect. So as far as like looks and all that other stuff, if you got these three things, I think like those three things will kind of get you to a place of where I'll be content. I think everything else is kind of workable and negotiable. I used to say you had to be tall, dark, handsome. You have to have this, that, and realistically speaking, that's not realistic. But like I said,
not at all.
It's not. But if you have, like, I'm not picky. I'm not like, the things that I'm picky about are things that are simple. Like, I'm whiny. I'm a baby. I want to be babied. I feel like if that's the biggest issue you got with me, just let me be a baby.
Jessica, go ahead, Jess.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something real quick, and that's for everybody. What you want in a person, make sure that you can reciprocate it. Don't go after something that you cannot fulfill.
Right.
Say it all the time. You gotta have what you're asking for, because if you ask for something that you don't have, you won't even know that you have it because you don't know what it look like.
Listen, I asked what I ask, I can give back.
Period. So if
I'm a sport, but I'm a baby.
I'm moving on
Love me.
because we only got one question left on each side.
And we've been on here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we finna be done because I need something. I need something. Jesus.
Oh gosh. Call his name.
The last question from the men that a man wanted to ask the women. He said, why when men open up to you, refer to him as weak, sensitive, or say he's acting like a bitch? I don't do that.
that's not all girls.
I know, opposite. Some women, because
That's not all girls.
their idea of love is a
You notice Queen ain't said nothing. I'm pointing that out.
Let's hear it.
I'm trying to figure out in what was he talking about? Because some of these niggas really be acting like some bitches. Like, I have come across the most bitch ass niggas ever. Like, men nowadays talk more than women. They gossip more than women. They're in more drama than women. They just running their mouths more than women. They just out here crying for no fucking reason. Maybe if you minded your business and tucked your dick, you would have been fine. But you out here just running around. Like, y'all not built like us. Then you wondering why we calling you out your names, but you acting retarded. I'm just saying. So this is what I'm looking for. Don't come at me because you done went snooping around, found something out, and you wasn't man enough to deal with it. Like, what you looking for? Go sit down somewhere. What was you looking for? Why are you crying about being treated a certain type of way, but you not providing, you not protecting, you not doing nothing? Go sit your bitch ass down somewhere. You want me to treat you like a man, then you better act like one. Stop crying.
What scripture is that?
Lord is working on me. That's
I gotta pee so bad.
But like, I'm not like
Oh God.
me with emotions and men. I just be like, nowadays and it's different because y'all are probably, y'all don't fall in this category. But these men,
They don't.
what's
I
wrong
can.
with
I will personally vouch for the both of them. They don't.
Right. They don't, and that's
Sounds
why you
like
guys
a
don't
good
understand.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You don't fall in that category, but nowadays men are not alphas. They're like running around here talking crap, do the church, do here, do there. They're so dramatic, and it's like, oh my god,
I
I
got
ain't
to
doing
Jess. I got to jump in before you jump in.
it.
I think what the question was, the
Okay.
person was asking. The real question is, women always say they want men to be more expressive. They want them to talk more about their feelings. But the moment they have a genuine feeling about something, they trust you, they finally reach the point where Chris was saying earlier, where they trust you to express said feelings. Then you come with, "Oh, you acting like a bitch." Well, either you want me to have feelings or not, because
But
I
was it
can't.
genuine, or are you really just being dramatic?
Let me finish. Let me finish. Because if they can't be genuine in their feelings with you, they're gonna find somebody else that they can be. On top of that, if you're allowed to have your emotions, the person you're in a relationship with should be allowed to have theirs. You can't diminish anybody's experience, or you can't diminish how something makes this person feel. It may not make you feel that way. You may deal with that issue or emotional thing differently than them. That don't make that man a bitch. It just means he expresses differently than you. And we have to stop the narrative of men, especially black men, that they can't feel. Because I don't want to date or fuck no robot. I'm just saying, you're going to have some sort of feelings and emotions to let me know you're a human being, you know. And, you know, Jessica,
It's not.
Jessica. Go ahead, Jess.
Let me iron out my thoughts right now. To be
Bear it
able
out.
to express to someone,
Mhm.
to look, to be able to express to someone from guy or girl is a privilege. You really don't have to know my personal thoughts, and you really don't have to get that close to me. I could keep you at an arm's distance, and that's cool,
Mm.
right? For for a guy, it could be perceived as them acting like a female dog. But then when a woman opens up herself to express herself to a guy, it comes as awful whining and complaining. So
Nagging, right?
really, are they
Right.
really the female? Because they're doing the same thing that we are. They're just expressing themselves. So
Right.
you cannot punish them for being able to actually emote and actually tell you how they feel. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a cutoff. If you playing the same song and we haven't been able to settle something or come to a conclusion about what you're going through, now you're using that as a clutch, something or something to lean on.
Mhm.
We're no longer about talking your feelings. Now this is entertainment. So that's the big difference for both sides. But you do
Okay,
have to
so
respect the man being able to open up because, especially from hold on, wait, especially from slavery, all men have been taught is to be strong. When have you ever
Mhm.
Right.
seen them taking the time to actually break down
And deal with their
and be
feelings.
a guy for once and really shed
Mhm.
some real tears? Yeah,
Mhm.
let's talk about it. Let's be honest. We have to give the same amount of passes that a guy could give us to cry on their shoulder and tell them how many times how we feel. And deep down, as much as they love us, it's like, okay, babe, I understand. But when do we
They
actually
don't
take the
really
time
know
to
what
do the
to do
same
for
thing for
real
the
when
guy
crying.
instead of just like putting him? But still, my whole thing is it has to be the same on both sides. It has to be fair.
Mhm.
If a guy is expressing himself to me, I cannot punish him for how he's emoting because this is the first time it's actually coming out. A lot of
Right.
the times, guys retaliate based upon action before emotion. So who am
Mm.
I? Who am I to judge how a guy is expressing himself to me? He's not a female dog.
Right.
Really, he's just
Right.
being human, and we
Right.
forget that. That still ties in with social media and how they depict the African man, where he has to be tough, or he's in a gang, he don't have no type of emotion at all, and he's just hard and he's just cold.
Right. Chris, you was going to say something?
Yeah, like, so even with all that being said, now 100% agree. I do see the like basis of this question, and scared as I am to admit it, I do kind of agree with Queen, because I personally know I had a former friend who was a lot like that, like overly emotional, overly feminine. We were in his wedding, and he was a bigger bridezilla than the bride.
Ooh,
Like,
Yes.
it was bad. All right. So I see the basis, and I see where people are coming from. But I mean, like she said, there is a cutoff to it. Like, people are allowed to have emotions, people are allowed to be human, but at some point you got to kind of draw the line. Like, I mean, call it gender roles or whatever, but like, nah, bro.
And this was another thing I was going to say was, you can't expect somebody to be vulnerable with you if you want to be vulnerable with them. You know what I'm saying? If I break down a little bit of my wall, then you break down a little bit of your wall, and we'll just keep breaking down walls together. But again, it got to be some sort of trust. And I have dated one person. We dated a whole week because they feelings had feelings, and I was just like, and they kept blaming it on being a Cancer. I don't listen. That's not why you like that. You like that because you're used to everything going your way, and when they would whine and nag and give the silent treatment and stuff, I'm like, it's only a week. Who's doing this? I'm not about to do this. You know, I've dated girls, and you reminded me of one of the girls. Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Last question. The last question. And then I'm going to have to go pray and meditate. The last question.
A lot to unpack here.
The last question. And it's a question men get asked all the time. But I'm going to ask it anyway because the lady submitted this question. And she wanted to know, why do men cheat on good women?
Means, motive, and opportunity.
Because we both got episodes on our own podcast about cheating.
I never cheated, so as far as like in a serious relationship, but I know that most people cheat because of just the opportunity. Because the thing that most women don't understand, when you are in a relationship, other women come after you. Other women will give themselves to you if you're in a relationship. That's why married men, I know married men will flash the ring and all that, and single women will go after them because if they know they can do whatever they want with them, and they going home versus somebody who's trying to stay and build with them. So it's the man's responsibility to say no, but there are women out there who don't mind messing around with a married man. That's what leads to in some cases.
So for this, I'm going to say this here. Like you said, means, motive, and opportunity. Women usually cheat because they feel like something is missing. Women are usually emotional cheaters. And then the emotion leads to sex because that's how women operate. But cheating is also a choice. You chose to do that. And no, somebody told me they cheated because it was just different. Another person cheated because they was bored. These is like there was no real deep reason for why they cheated. They just chose to. And I think another thing is not necessarily, you may think you're a good woman, but the person you with might not think that about you. They might think who they sleeping with on the side is a better woman than you. You can't control that thought process. So it's the same reason why women cheat on good men, because they do that too. Somebody told me they cheated because the standards was lower on the other side. They had to do less to be with this person and then come right back. This a standard where you got to uphold with a certain person, so you want to go somewhere where the standards ain't so high. But you do that and you get over here like, wow, this standards really ain't that high. So it's easier. But in my head, there's no good excuse or reason to cheat. Just break up. I mean, just break up.
I mean, people have like all kind of reasons, but it all comes down to just a choice. So
Yeah, it's a choice.
mean,
You chose to do that. You wanted to
you
do that.
can't really like personalize it either. It's just that's what people do.
And
Like I've
never
never cheated, but I mean, I guess I probably may have had the opportunity once, twice, but it's
Ooh,
like you just make that choice. And it's,
right. And like Ed was saying, there are women who they see that you're treating another woman well, so they want that lifestyle.
right.
So the more devoted you are to the wife, the more they want you. And men do it too, because I don't know how many times I say I'm talking to somebody or I like somebody, and all of a sudden, people just niggas fall from the sky. Where you been? And you get, oh, that's your little boyfriend you was with. That's your sir. You wasn't asking me none of these questions when nobody was around.
Mm-hmm.
Now you think it's something redeemable in me because somebody else sees it. Well, if you didn't see it the first time, keep your eyes closed and keep walking.
It's like we shared in our group chat, I think last week or something. It was like a post about some woman who's like, I understand he don't got hoes, but why don't he have hoes? Like, why do I want somebody
Right.
nobody else wants? It's just that whole backwards mindset. Like, what are we doing? Like to each other, like, what are we doing?
You want to compete with other people for your man or your girl? Like, you want to do that? Go ahead, Jess. Go ahead, Jess.
To piggyback off of what you said, Mia, it's not to say that they didn't see it, is that they took it for granted, because once someone has left the building, you look stupid not reflecting on the fact that wow, she is a good girl, or she is a great woman. Sorry, that's
should have called
so
me while I cared.
undermining. Yeah, and but look, listen, that's the same thing with guys as well. Sometimes the girl realize the fact that he leaves, that oh wow, he is a really great guy, but because of your ignorance and your satisfaction, you overlooked everything and missed out at the same time.
You dismissed the good guy to go with the bad boy, and the bad boy beat you upside your head.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm for real. Like, I've seen it happen, literally.
Yeah.
Like, I've had friends, I'm like, don't mess with him.
And she gonna stay because she thinks she can change him.
Child, yes. Because I have a friend, and I'm like, you should talk to this person. You should give this person a chance. This is a good man. And she be like, well, that's boring. And I think people equate drama to, like, they don't know how to live without drama. So if there's no drama in it, it's quote unquote boring. No, bitch, that's healthy. That's what that is.
Okay.
Why do you want drama? You ain't tired? I think we had this discussion in the group chat too. You ain't tired? You sad every day, every other day. This, ma'am, I don't want to hear about it no more.
Yeah, like, does anybody know how to just be happy? Like, crap.
I know somebody out there right now that will treat you like a queen, and I keep trying to convince you to talk to that person, and you don't want to, and I'm confused because I see who you talk to instead. Oh, child, I got triggered real quick because I see who you like instead. I see what you're going for. I see what you're diminishing yourself to try to be with this person. But it's somebody good right here. They're right there. You don't want that. You don't want the ribeye steak. You want the nuggets. Go ahead. You want the faux for. It's ribeye steak here every day. You want the faux for. Yeah,
Hold up.
Jessica. Yes, ma'am.
You can keep the steak. I'll take the seafood.
I like chicken nuggets.
You heard?
Chicken tenders.
You know what, Queen?
You can keep.
I don't like steak.
You know what I'm trying to say.
I don't do
But
steak.
you can get the box wine, or you can get the wine that costs $49 a box.
No, but
is the box wine Moscato or is it?
You're right. But in all honesty, I'm done. In all honesty, at the end of the day, make sure you select someone that's worth take the future with you.
Y'all, we are going to wrap this up because I literally can't. Like, I can't anymore today. Again, this is Queen's Realm Podcast, everybody. And I'm going to let
Thank you for
everybody
having us on.
give
It's been a night.
I'm going to have everybody give a 30-second last thoughts. And I'm going to time it because it needs to be 30 seconds.
Oh God.
Ladies first.
Hold on, let me start the timer. Because I'm not playing. 30 seconds for real, bro. All right. I'm going to go with how I see it on my screen. So, Chris, you would be first. Go. The clock is ticking.
So, I mean, I guess in wrapping it up, if I had to say anything, it's like, first of all, like, get away from the drama, like we were saying, like, get away from the need for just constant fighting and arguments and drama all the time, and just learn how to be happy.
Mhm.
And I guess second is just break out, like, get to know people and get to understand who people are to see who's different.
Okay, good job, Chris. All right. Ed, you're next, because you were next. Wait, let me start it over. Okay, go, Ed. Last words.
All right, taking everything that we've learned tonight outside of Queen being crazy, this is what I feel like we should take from this is that communication is number one. Communication,
Yeah.
understanding can mean a lot. You just got to take time, put in the effort into knowing that. And Jess Afro was cool. Other than that, you guys have a good night.
She said just after it was cool. All right. Just go. 30 seconds. Clock started now. Hold on.
If you're not ready to add on to anyone, don't be in the relationship at all, because all you will do is take away from the person.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Oh, she got it at less. She had 18 seconds up on the clock. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna time myself at 30 seconds. Okay. Once again, everybody, this is Queen's Realm Podcast. I thank everybody for joining me today. This guest, it was real insightful. For my last words, I just want to say that it is very clear that women and men do not know that much about one another. And we need to keep the lines of communication open. We need to keep calling each other out and keep each other accountable. Because Lord have mercy, Jesus be a Phelps. That's it. Thank y'all for watching. I can't wait to the next panel episode.
Queen doesn't get no last words?
Oh, you know what? I forgot about Queen. My bad. Sorry.
That's safe.
Right. I mean,
go ahead, Queen. You got 30 seconds. 27.
Listen, live your life, y'all. That's it. Live your life. You know, we ain't never gonna understand each other. So, do you? Let me be spoiled. The end.
All right. So there you have it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope y'all have a good night. This is a very interesting conversation today. And yep.
Good night.